to everybody in the chat, man. DJ Knicks Weekly. Salute to everybody, man. I apologize for the, I had to start late. A few of my slides got deleted in this cleanup I was doing because it saved to the wrong folder. Apologies for that, so I just had to put a few of them together before I started the show. But I appreciate each and every one of you here, man. I just started out this new week, man. After that awful All-Star, whatever the hell that was, man. I don't know what the hell that crap was, but that's not it. That's not it. A commercial every 3 seconds. A bunch of figures and people I really don't give two craps about. What happened to the beautiful game of basketball? What happened to the beautiful game of basketball, dogs? Let me say something to this, man. So right in the chat, man. Appreciate you. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. Please follow me on Twitter. Follow me on the Discord as well, too. Salute, man. But, nah, yesterday, bro, was a waste of my time. The whole All-Star weekend, no offense, was a waste of my time. Every time I complain about it, but then I end up watching it hoping I see something different. Now, salute to Mac McClung. You know what I'm saying, man? Unfortunately, he's not on a big league team right now, but the guy, at least, he was the hardest worker out of anybody in that whole... Outside of some of the young players in the All-Star game, I'll give it to them. Stephen Castle, Ryan Dunn. Some of these young players, they play with some fire. But salute to Mac McClung, man, had some kind of the same damn freaking dunks, but, you know, he tried, you know, with the behind the back, you know, jumping off of the player with the ball on top of the head, all that. That was cool. But dunk contest, man, they try to hype it up and try to put him over Vince Carter. He ain't no damn Vince Carter, bro. Vince Carter came in and destroyed the dunk contest. Vince Carter is literally the Dark Knight of all. He ruined it. Y'all gotta come with an Avengers or whatever. Even then, you still probably say Vince Carter's the best. I still think Dark Knight's better than Avengers. That's my personal opinion. But this All-Star game was not it. Players are shooting shots from half court. Like, bro, like, you look, give some effort. We understand you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to do too much. But still, it looked like trash, dogs. Oh, my gosh, man. And then for LeBron James, who I think ruined the whole All-Star game, I'm going to explain a little bit. To not allow his All-Star resignation, knowing he was not going to play, knowing he was going to be hurt, to not allow that to go to a guy like Norman Powell, who's played his ass off. Norman Powell has, I would say he's lived for the moment in terms of guys getting hurt, but in terms of showing the league what he could do, and showing the league what he can do, Norman Powell this season has put on. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I love his game. No nonsense, no BS dribble, none of that garbage. Your man executes. I love his game. But for LeBron James to pull that off, Mr. I don't want to do the dunk contest. And thank you, Carmelo Anthony, for saying the thing that I've said for years. That Stephen A has also said as well, too. But I said it before Stephen A, so I don't know, whatever. LeBron James not doing a dunk contest took the allure. It took the legend out of the dunk contest. Michael Jordan did it. Dr. J. Dominique Wilkins, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, they may have only did it once, but they graced the floor to say, yo, I'm him. I'm better than all y'all. Oh, and I got a bag too. And I could dunk better than y'all. All of us been trying to do the dunk from the foul line. All of us been trying to do the craziest tricks, the 360s, the between the legs, the spin arounds, all that. Oh, you thought I could just shoot? You thought I could just drive to the basket? Oh, I got skill. I got to execute here. I can't do it because my coach would kill me if I did those moves. But I got skill. That's what they all said in their minds as they play. LeBron James will go to his son's basketball game, AAU basketball game, to get online and do dunks in front of kids. Why? Because LeBron James likes the easy win. He likes the win that's right there in front of him. He doesn't like the hard road. He doesn't like the difficult road. He doesn't like failing and saying, you know what, damn, he was better than me. Okay, I'll give you that. He always had to have the narrative that he's the best. I don't want to see, he's 40-something now, so he's not going to do it. But I remember a few years ago, they complained about being a dunk contest. And literally a few games right after the All-Star game weekend ended, your man was doing all these damn dunk. I'm like, you're doing this stuff to troll people? You ruined the All-Star game. You were supposed to help carry the legend. We're all supposed to have a story about LeBron James doing something stupid at the crazy dumb at the dunk contest. But we don't. Your best high flyers are supposed to be doing it. That's why now this new generation of guys, the Ja Morants, Anthony, they're supposed to be in it. And they look at LeBron like, oh, LeBron didn't do it. I don't gotta do it. LeBron James supposed to be doing it, and then tell the younger kids, yeah, you're not really a legend like that until you at least go into a dunk contest. Even if you lose, you at least gotta grace the stage. Now I gotta see Ja Morant jump 30 feet in the air for a rebound and a putback, dunk on a Wembanyama, but he doesn't want to do the dunk contest. And then on top of that, let's go back to 2011, 2012. Let's go back to 2011, 2012. LeBron James versus Kobe Bryant. Because remember, they were trying to build LeBron James, Kobe Bryant for the finals for years. In 2009, 10-9, unfortunately, or fortunately, the Magic beat the Cavaliers, so that never was going to happen. They had all the commercials, everything was hyping it up. They finally meet in the All-Star game in terms of, like, in terms of one-on-one matchups. I got you, J-Book. I'm about to get to the stream. I just want to get off this rant real quick. They finally meet up in the All-Star game. 1v1. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Mr. Kobe Bryant will fall on the shield. Will do everything to show that he's better than you. Kobe Bryant will play on on no legs to try to show he's better than you. What does LeBron James do? 2012, I believe. 2011, 2012 All-Star game. Your man passed up the open. Not the open. He passed up the shot. He just go 1v1 versus Kobe. You passed up the shot. Carmelo and Kobe had to come to you and say, what the hell are you doing? This was your time to shine. This was the matchup to say, yo, okay, the old versus the new guard. Who still got it? Kobe still got it? Oh yeah, Kobe still that dude. Oh, LeBron is the new kid? Not the new kid, but the new great, whatever you want to call him. Your man gave it up. I'm not saying that I'm not entertained by LeBron James's career or whatnot, that he's not a great player, he's not a first-round Hall of Famer. God bless him. But when he's gone from the NBA, I'll be happy. I'm tired of seeing the manufactured winner, the manufactured champion, the manufactured GOAT, which he's definitely not. But we all know that there's a lot of manufactured behind his name, and I'm tired of it. I want to get back to real basketball. You want to fix a dunk contest? Provide 100% insurance for all those people. That if they get hurt, I'm pretty sure some type of insurance anyway. But I want to show that if he get hurt from All-Star game, there's some extra pay or whatever to better protect them. That's one. Two, and they said now they took another idea I said this a few years ago. 1v1s. I want to see 1v1s at the All-Star game. That's also going to have to take a lot of doing from the marketing teams. A lot of these endorsement companies who are doing a poor job. Blame them too. Y'all commercials are boring. Your marketing is boring. I feel no connection to these players. They're not funny. They're not personable. They're just, oh, I see Jason Tatum and a whole bunch of flashing lights and nice graphics. I don't see him talk. I don't see him talk trash. I don't see him do nothing. These guys are boring. The marketing team's supposed to be like, hey, I'm not saying you do Grandmama. You look back, Grandmama was like, I made him dress up like that. But Grandmama had some pizzazz. It had, you felt, okay, Grandmama. Kobe Bryant, one of my favorite. I don't know why no one talks about this commercial. They don't bring this commercial up anymore. This is probably later in his career. When Kobe Bryant was in a visitors stadium, a visitors arena. And he was basically like saying how much he relishes the people booing him and everything. After he hits that game-winning shot versus the visiting team in their home court, how he makes it feel. I love that. The villain. Everyone loves a villain. Everyone loves a villain. I love playing as Ryu on Street Fighter. But I'd be damned to not be playing Akuma. I'd be damned if I say I don't like to play Akuma. I'd be damned if I like to say I like to play in Bison. For my King of Fighter fans. But I don't like to play Geese or Rugal. Come on, dogs. The marketing teams have to build up these players, bro. Y'all players have to want it. Y'all getting paid, we get it. So maybe the fight is not there. Y'all don't have to try to build the brand anymore. But sustain the brand. Sustain the brand. Make it better. Take it to the next stage. No, we know NBA's not going to go back to feudal Japan like it was in the 90s. But damn, you guys are boring. KD comes out talking about, oh, you guys are booing us. It's you. It's y'all. The fans are booing because I made changes that end up making the game look even worse. Because initially, you guys gave no heart to the game, bro. KD, blame yourself. Blame yourself. You guys are boring. When Iverson was going up back in the day, 2001 versus Marbury, you felt that. Didn't Marbury have 30 points or 27 points in an All-Star game? Shooting threes, driving to the basket. And they weren't even playing. It was like they were playing shutdown D. We understand. We don't want you guys to get hurt. But show a little bit of something. Even if y'all just clear it out. I want to see 1v1s. I want to see Curry versus Ja Morant. I want to see Tatum versus KD. I want to see Wembayama versus Cat. I want to see something. I want to feel like, yo, okay, the stars are here. They trying to prove who's the best. Forget all the accolades. Forget all the money you're being paid. Let's take all that out. I'm better than you. You not better than me. You got overdrafted. I was better than you. You got picked here. I was better than you. You the international star. I'm better than you. And I'm a bust your ankles right now. I'm gonna shoot this 3 in your face. I'm gonna embarrass you. And I'm not gonna smile. Get back on defense. It's up to y'all to want to build the All-Star game. If you want to blame Adam Silver, he's done a terrible job in many regards to All-Star game. But y'all players, y'all shoe companies, y'all marketing companies, y'all product companies, y'all done a terrible job in building the brand. Bunch of bland nobodies. All because Iverson want to wear, he's considered a thug. So they dumb down the NBA to make a whole bunch of empty, just empty faces. I don't feel nothing when I watch some of these players. I don't feel like, damn, I want to root for. One person is Anthony Edwards. And even he's going more of just having, let me chill. I don't want to talk about that. He's more in the news for other stupid ish than I am from seeing him being a villain that he should be. I want to see more Anthony Edwards talk trash. I'm better than this dude. Yeah, I'm cocky. I'm better than this dude. He ain't doing nothing against me. Thank you, Oscar Robertson, for providing me some of that. When he said Draymond Green, man, no one cares what Draymond Green's talking about. Even though I actually agree with a lot of what Draymond Green was trying to imply. But thank you, Oscar Robertson, for trying to put Draymond Green in his place. But let me shut up, man. I got the StreamYard buzzing right now with my guys, Jay Boogie, as well as Darcy. Let me open up that real quick. And, of course, the beats, man. Munyon Canyon, bro. Man, Alchemist 2 Chainz just put out a great album. I think it's like #1 on, is it #1? On Apple or some crap like that. Something amazing, bro. This album is glorious. And why does my StreamYard always do something weird? Is that the screen's coming out? Let me take that down so I can see my face as I try to fix this. Yeah, we got Darcy in the building. Got J. My camera is messed up. Hold up, y'all. I can hear y'all.
What are you doing? Fixing your sink or something?
Yo, that's your man Darcy, man.
That's how they knock on the door in your building.
Look at your man. Look at your man, Jay Boogie, man. Why is my mic not working? What is this? Yo, salute, man.
Somebody at the door, man. Somebody at the door.
Salute my brother Jay Boogie in the building. We got Darcy. Let me mute Darcy, man. Darcy got the...
He answering his door. Somebody knocking at his door.
He got the HOA knocking at his door, so this man's bugging out, man. Salute to Jay Boogie, man. How you doing, Jay Boogie?
Man, what's good, man? I hear you talking, man. I hear you rumbling, man. Let me get my two. I hear the tab cut
Yo, don't start that, man. You know, I want to hear your opinion, man. You know you weren't. That All Star game meant nothing to you, man. Come on, bro.
Actually, I was on ESPN radio talk show today, um Clinton Friends, and I spoke upon that All-Star game. It is completely out of order. And before I even say anything about the play, matter of fact, shout out to the chat. Hope everybody's in the greatest form of health.
Yes, sir.
Blessings, health, happiness to everybody. Anybody going through anything, we don't pray that you go through it. We pray that you get through it.
Yes,
Salute,
sir.
salute, salute. Three capital S's. Shout out to my man Legion, always holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Anytime
Appreciate you.
you know what I'm saying, you give me a call, man. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I'm here for you and your fan base, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I want to say, real first thing first, before we talk about the All Star guys and all that, the players and all that, I feel really bad for the ones that put away at least probably about $250 to $300 a month prepping and preparing to maybe take their little ones. The
Mm.
hard working blue collar ones that struggle, you know what I'm saying, to make their money. But one of their kids say, Mom or Dad, I want to go to the All-Star game. They saving up money to sit way up there in the nosebleed somewhere in the All-Star game because they can't afford down low. And here you are with all these celebs, they just, the money ain't nothing for them for the buy up and have all that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they work hard to come and see. That I feel shameful for those, that work hard to save their money to come see this event and they're not entertained at all. And you keep destroying the All-Star weekend week after week. I mean, season after season after season, and you're
Mm.
not coming up with nothing. You know what I'm saying? To make it right for the people. You know what I'm saying? Forget the guys that's in the league. They need to figure out something and do something. First thing I needed to go back to East West.
Thank
I
you.
need that go back to East West.
Yes, sir.
I don't care if you playing for maybe, you know what I'm saying, who has home court advantage in the championship game. I don't care if you playing for the losers, whoever lose, or everybody on that team that you represent, that team gets two losses in their win-loss column. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
No wins for the ones that won the game. They just stay where they at. Maybe some of these guys, you know what I'm saying, will play harder, you know what I'm saying, and because you're representing, you make it to the All-Star, that's a privilege. You play hard, you work hard to get there. But now, when you get there, you're supposed to showcase your talent amongst other people to show why I'm here. I'm not here because I'm the best player on my team. I'm here because I belong here, and it's time for me to bust your ass.
Thank
Excuse
you.
my French. But this
Nah, go
is
ahead.
where it should be. I come up in an era where back in the days, them guys was checking one another. They wanted to play one another. And even the retire, they always had the retirement All-Star game before the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you was in the like the Julius Irving, if you was in the late Magic Johnson, if you was if you was in the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird type Julius Irving, and you know what I'm saying, you would see guys like, you know what I'm saying, Alex English, them type guys playing in an all-star game before them guys came on. Them guys, older guys came out to play basketball, leading up to the ones that's playing now. But man, they gotta do a lot of different things. The dunk contest, shout out to the dude. He's doing any and everything, you know what I'm saying, that he could possibly do to entertain.
He's trying,
And
yeah.
shout out to my guy Stephon Castle. That's my man Hardwell's nephew. He
Yes.
did he did what he could do. He didn't, I thought maybe he should have. I thought honestly he could have won that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got bored of the guy constantly jumping to
Over
grab
somebody.
the ball to do something. I
Yeah.
needed him to do something different. You don't did that 3 years straight. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Put the ball on somebody and you jumping up doing something that, you know what I'm saying? So but shout out to them guys. They worked, they did their thing. I wasn't upset as the basketball game themselves, in the finals of the dunk contest. But it's a lot of things you can do. Dame, you pulling up from half. So what? Steph, you pulling up in half. Let me get a shoot off with them two guys and see who has the most range and donate that money to something, you know what I'm saying? Some type charity. It's a lot of things you can do amongst this all-star event, but they're doing it just to kind of like cater to the players when you should be catering to the fans, you know what I'm saying? More than anything. And like I said at the beginning, I hate the people that spend their hard-earned working all year round money to take their little ones to bring them to this all-star event, and they sitting way up there in the nosebleed. The nosebleed at the all-star game is more than the nosebleed at Madison Square Garden, and our nosebleeds cost some bread, but that's an all-star event, so you can get what I'm saying. But it's a lot of things they need to do, man. You know, I'm really kind of upset with Jalen Brunson. To me personally, dude, you're an all-star on this team. But you played like, you know what I'm saying, you just made it there. I needed you to go there and set example. I don't care how you do it. I'm not here because they voted me in. I'm here because I belong here. And this is what I like how Cat came out. Cat came out doing his norm. I'm here, you know what I'm saying, doing his norm. But it's a lot of things that got to be done to change this all-star event up, man. You know what I'm saying? But once you get to the billions and billions of dollars, them people almost don't even care.
It's sad. Yeah, I agree, man. At this point, you have to try to find ways to incentivize people, man. It's like you paying these guys so much money, and it's like, where's the fire, right? So I agree with you. And that's to come from the NBA. Has to, like I said, you could the marketing companies and whatnot. Not to say that they tasked with doing it, but they should be seeing dollar signs, man, to try to reignite something, rivalries, something to get these guys going, man. This is, man. I can't keep. I always say I'm not gonna watch, and I end up watching it, but it's just damn. Because I don't want to ish on it, man. I grew up watching Iverson, Marbury. I grew up, man, when Jordan was there, bro. Like with the
You
white All
have
Star
to
jersey,
watch it,
Kobe.
no matter what it is or how stink it's been for the past. You have to watch it when you love it, basketball. That's what we do. We love basketball. So if we don't want to watch it because we know it's going to be trash, we're going to watch it anyway because that's just what we do. It's it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. We're going to
You're right.
watch that All-Star event.
You're right.
Hey, well,
Darce.
hey, Dorsey, man, I see you over there munching. What you had a food delivery? I heard somebody banging at the door. That was banging at the door.
Your man starving. Your man starving out here, man. Look at him.
Yeah, bro. I don't eat lunch, so I eat early in the morning. So then my first meal of the day is typically around this time. Outside of that, so
I'm with you. Trust me. Mine is on the stove. Just waiting. But he got my guy called me. I put it to the side.
Oh, don't put. You put that on me? Wow.
I was going.
Wow. J Boogie ain't word.
I heard Jay Boogie talking, so I'm like, all right, I got a little time to munch down real quick while bro do his thing.
Yo, these dudes ain't word is, bro. They put their suffering on me. You know what, man?
No, I ain't worried about you, bro. I mean, you see, I'm still in.
Nah, Jay Boogie word. He said, "Oh, my thing's on the stove right now." I know you're looking at. Jay Boogie ain't worth ish, man. But let Darcy, any thoughts on the All-Star game before we move on to some
yeah, bro. I watched it. I watched Saturday. I didn't catch Friday night, but I caught Saturday and Sunday. I like the new format. I think it adds, a little versatility to things. The one thing I think I would like to see, instead of Candace, her Rising Stars team, I would get rid of that and do a fan voted team. Let the fans vote on players who didn't make it to All-Star to play on that team, right? I would love to see a Josh Hart get in one of those type of teams and challenge a team like the OGs, right? Because Josh Hart gonna go out there and play hard. So I would do a fan voting team, players who an OG and an OB, a Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges on that team versus the OGs instead of a Rising Star. And it'd be a fan voted thing. That would be huge because it's a lot of talented players that play hard that don't ever make it to All-Star. So I think that would actually be nice, and you give them a chance to actually go all the way and win. So I would want to see something like that. I thought Jaren Jackson played hard. I thought Victor played hard. But the rest of these guys, it's a cakewalk to them. They're very casual about it, and it is disrespectful to basketball fans because, especially the ones who are paying to attend these events. I went to All Star Weekend. I was living in Cleveland when they had All Star Weekend in Cleveland, and like I said, it just didn't have that feel to it, that excitement to it that you would expect to fit. So I mean, they got to switch things up, but I like what Charles Barkley said in response to Draymond Green. Like, yo, it is y'all fault.
Yep.
Like guys like Kobe went out there and gave the fans a show. This used to mean something. We used to be able to be excited about this, and now not so much. So yeah, they gotta figure something out, and they shouldn't really, honestly, they should not have to incentivize the players to go out there and want to make this an experience for the fans. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't have to, because you guys are very blessed. You're getting paid millions, and you have money that you can pass down to future generations. The least you can do is reward basketball fans and put on a show. It's the least you could do. So the fact that these guys don't have the diligence, they don't have the care to be intentional about something like that is just distasteful. And somebody needs to be speaking up about that.
I agree with you, bro, but we know what it is, bro. We know what it is, what these players should be doing to continue to build the brand. But at this point, man, they're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, which it's just only gone up. So, it's human nature, man. These people, man, you're getting paid to basically give 85% of yourself to the league. They're going to take it, bro. And they're going to keep giving less if the people keep paying more. So, unfortunately, the NBA has to find a way to incentivize these people. And I think Adam Silver's been playing this a little bit too safe and doing all this hokey crap. And it's like, bro, you got to find a way to spur rivalries, get these guys to talk trash. You got to build it up, man. Look, man, you get a breath of fresh air when you see Anthony Edwards slam on somebody and talk like he don't really give a F about them. We love that. We know Anthony Edwards. When Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler going at it, it's not that people want to see a fight. It's like, oh my gosh, we see the love for like the game in the sense of like, I'm not no little dude to you, Jimmy Butler. You're not gonna be trying to sum me. Like, I don't care who you are. We miss that. So they got to try to find a way to revive it. Like I said, man, bring 1v1s or something like that. Have call-outs. Put money on the line. I know some people may not want that because they want to be embarrassed. It is what it is, but they got to find a way to build this up. And I don't think that, getting guys from outside the league, like some people suggested getting dunkers who are not even in the league. Nah, you get these guys you see night in, night out dunking, and you find a way to get them into the damn dunk contest, man. LeBron James, you ruined it. Should have been the dunk contest way before. It is what it is. So you have a generation of kids who don't care about the dunk contest, who not in terms of high flyers, the best high flyers, whatnot. They don't care about the dunk contest. So it is what it is. But let's move on, man. Knicks.
He ruined the whole entire All-Star game, and Charles Barkley really let me down because he's an outspoken person. The same way we speak out, you know what I'm saying? Them guys know and seen the same thing. I would have loved to see Charles Barkley say, LeBron, this is your fault. Because when Kobe passed you the torch in that All-Star game,
Yes.
which you already elaborated on some of that, when Kobe passed you the torch of this All-Star game, this whole league was in your hand.
Yes.
So LeBron is responsible for how the situation is going. For us to also, he's the spokesman, he's the big man, he's the big body, you know what I'm saying, in the league. That is him. You know what I'm saying? The league go as what LeBron says and how he leads. And you know what I'm saying? He hasn't done it. And all the way back to that game when they called him out. And you take this shot and all that. Kobe was passing the if you remember in that game, Kobe at times was picking that man up at full court.
Yes.
Full court pressuring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He had it in his heart. I think he got like 2, maybe 3 blocks on him in that game, and you see kind of like he took the air out of LeBron's game because he could not believe that he was really out there trying to play, on an up level, setting a real major tone. Yes, dude, I'm setting the tone because if you want this after I'm here, I'm willing to give it to you. But you got to show these people that you're the receiver and you get ready to carry the league on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, Stephon. I ain't even see. I was mad nobody was playing D on Steph. Because this is your crib, them guys, they supposed to be trying to get him the MVP. Nobody on the opposite team was trying to shut that down. Running through three. Nothing, man. Just let Steph Curry. Man, that man shot a turnaround three-pointer. I said, oh, my God. It's crazy, man.
It was, and yes, and the funny thing, Jay Boogie, because I remember that too. Your man Kobe, yo, man, rest in peace, Kobe, man. This man, if you remember the one that he passed up, he allowed LeBron to get half court.
Yeah.
And then he picked him up. And he's like, okay, you know what? I'll let you have this possession. Now show the world that you bet. Like, Kobe is an old school, that samurai thinking that, like, yo, like, I'm either live or die by my sword. It is what it is. If we lose this game, it's on me. We win this game, it'll be part of me. But I'm not gonna let you show me up. I'm gonna shoot this final shot. Right? For better or worse, the times he missed, because Kobe missed a lot of clutch shots. But you always felt like, damn, I respect this guy. He let LeBron have that possession. He said, yo, your man, even Carmelo. This is why I get sick to this day. I wish Carmelo got drafted by Detroit Pistons, because Carmelo's talent should have elevated him even higher than what obviously his Hall of Fame career has taken him. Carmelo and Kobe both went to LeBron James. Carmelo was on, but he's like, bro, why are you passing up the ball? What is wrong? This was your state. This is where you built the folklore. This is where we're supposed to remember this, but 20, 30 years down the road, it's like telephone. We start to actually lose details and then hype it up. Like, we hype up things that never even happened because it's so legendary that what you did in that game versus Kobe was so great that it starts to create new memories in our head 10, 20 years down the road. But unfortunately, you didn't do that, LeBron. Like you said, Jay Boogie, like I said, bro, you ruined the All-Star game. So I'll be happy to see what the new guys have, man. Stephen Castle, salute to you. You played your butt off, even though you did foul your man KD on that one play. At least you hustled and tried to get the block. You too, Ryan Dunn. I'm looking forward to what the new kids do, because what I'm seeing from this
I like that. They put the whistle up. They won't call it nothing. I'm here to get a check. I'm not calling nothing. Let me see something. Show me something. Show me something. I'm glad they didn't call that foul on KD.
Yeah, you.
Come on, man.
All right, let's get to the Knicks stuff, man. Knicks. It's a new team, new day, new season. The Knicks at the All-Star break, 36-18, third in the Eastern Conference. I've heard some conversations across social media, across mainstream, asking, are the Knicks an elite team? So I just want to gauge you guys' opinions on this, man. Had several questions. I apologize, I should have sent you the questions, Jay Boogie, but I sent them to Darcy. But it's nothing too crazy, right? And Jay Boogie, you always know how to answer questions off the cuff, so I know you're going to give us something solid anyway. But just want to ask a few questions to you guys, man, about the Knicks. Obviously, with all the changes being made, but things of the nature like, are we a different team? Are we better than last year? Obviously some new players, OG being re-signed, but McCall, Cat being the new acquisitions. Talk about, has Tom Thibodeau maximized the talent on the squad? Want to also gauge you guys' opinions on JB and Cat. Is that the foundational duo? I've already heard talks about people after the Celtics game. People already saying that we need to trade Cat for Giannis. But and obviously that's a little extreme. But after us losing to the Celtics, people don't think Cat can be the number 2 guy to go up against a so-called powerhouse like the Celtics. Is McCall and the OG worth the investment? Mitchell Robinson, the big acquisition going forward. I know Darcy's gonna kill that topic. Best starting lineup going forward. Do the Knicks have enough depth? Is Tibbs the right coach for it to run ECF or changes to the squad coaching if we don't make the ECF? So let's start off first with how this team looks compared to last season. And I did have a chart. Of course, I can't find the chart now. Oh, yeah, here the chart is. So obviously 36-18, third in the Eastern Conference. Versus last year, actually somewhat similar, only 3 games off. We were 33-22 after or before the All-Star break. Obviously, we had the ridiculous run in January when OG first came last season. We kind of struggled along. Mitch Robinson got hurt in December. We're kind of trying to find a way in December. Brought Dante DiVincenzo into the starting lineup. But things didn't really take off until OG joined, and we had probably one of the best months in all of basketball, probably all of NBA history. Offensive rating this year, we're number 2 versus number 7 last year. Obviously, Cat and JB being the best pick and roll duo in the league definitely helps that, but also having wings who can hit 3-point shots, and OG and Mikal Bridges, and obviously Josh Hart's rebounding helps in some regards. Defensive rating, definitely nowhere near as good as we are last year or the last few seasons, 18th this season. And we actually snuck around like around 9th or 7th or 9th or 8th around maybe like a month or so ago, but we kind of fallen off from then versus 9th defensive rating last year. Points per game this season, we're at 100. We're 4th in the league versus 17th in the league last year. Obviously, last year we lived a lot without our defense and rebounding. Despite OG coming here, we had one of the best plus minuses, but a lot of us on defensive and the rebounding end. Offensive rebounds, 18th versus 3rd. Hey, what's up?
Come again.
Hi, Reason.
How you doing? Well, she growing up now. She talking proper now. Oh snap! Oh wow!
We took the picture with him at the Garden.
Yeah, she talking with bass in her voice now. Jay Boogie, chill, man. Let her. Don't you trying to teach your broken crossover, man? Chill, man. I know you be having out there for 6 hours at a time in the rain trying to. Come on, man, chill, bro. You dribble like you dribble like David Wesley, Jay Boogie. But anyway,
cut the snaps, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But yeah, defensive rebound 25th versus 11th last year. Again, rebounds falling off, despite the fact that Cat is one of the best, if not the best rebound in the league. Plus minus 5th versus 6th last season. And then wins versus teams over 500. We're actually 17 and 12. Obviously, people are going to get mad and say we don't have the so-called signature wins because we've lost to the Celtics, lost to the Cavaliers, even though we only played them once. OKC, we've lost to twice. So versus last year, we're actually 11 and 20. So we're doing better than last year in terms of versus 500 teams, but just those so-called signature wins, we haven't been able to so-called scale. Even though I think wins against Denver Nuggets and some of these other teams we struggled historically against should be considered signature wins. But let me get you guys' opinions. How do you feel about this team versus last year? Changes that we're seeing from personnel, from style of play, Thibodeau's coaching, if you see any differences. Are we a better team than last year? Just in terms of makeup, chemistry, how we function from game in, game out. How do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, D.
I mean, the biggest difference I would say, especially in these probably past 10 games, is Tom Thibodeau, right? Him being willing to put in the bench earlier in the first quarter instead of in the second, probably at the end of the first quarter or going into the second. So that's a big difference I see. But other than that, and just in terms of the team overall, I think we're a lot better than we were last year. Now, granted, last year had a lot of asterisks because of the injuries. But I look at what is this stat here that I was just looking at in comparison to last season? It's our SRS stat. So we have the best SRS stat that we've had since 1993-94. And the SRS stat is the simple rating system. So basically, it's based on the player's point differential and the strength of their schedule. So we have the 7th best SRS in Knicks history. And then versus last year, we have a better SRS than we finished the season with. Now, granted, will we finish with one that's ultimately better when the season is done? That remains to be seen. But we're on path. We're on the right track. We have a better consistent. If the Knicks, at minimum, do what they've done in the first half, they're going to have one of the best SRS that we've had since the 90s. So, I mean, like I said, we do have to appreciate the progress. In terms of us not getting wins over, your Cavaliers, your Celtics, I put an asterisk around those things too. The Celtics were the first game of the season. We are a new team. We only have, 3 or 4 players that are returning from last year that are on this team. We are a new team. That was the first game of the season, and they were coming off receiving their championship ring. So they had a high from that game. Now, obviously, it wasn't a fluke because they just took it to us this last game. But I look at it like this. To me, the Celtics are a team that have been together for years. The Celtics were a contender when Jason Tatum came into the league. So these guys have a lot of time together, Tatum and Brown specifically. And you're not just going to creep wins out of these guys, especially when they're taking you seriously because they realize the Knicks are a threat. You can see it when they play us. They know, hey, this is likely our second round matchup, so we got to take it to these guys. And to me, we need these experiences. We need to get our A's whooped against them, so we can have good film to know and study what we need to work on, so we can figure out how they're able to beat us and how we can counter that. Now, if whether Tom Thibodeau has the acumen and the ability to bring that plan to life will remain to be seen. But we need to be able to see what that looks like. We need to see what this team looks like against the Celtics. We haven't had that playoff matchup to know. And so I'm looking at it from this standpoint of when we get OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson back, and not only just having Mitchell Robinson back, even if he's back for this game on the 23rd, he's not going to have his legs. This guy hasn't played in 9 to 10 months. So even what you see from him in the first 10 games is not going to be Mitchell Robinson's maximum capability once his conditioning is where it needs to be. But I look at a team going against the Celtics. I was just watching film from his highlights when he played against them. He has a few signature blocks on Tatum. He had some massive offensive rebounds against them, and this is exactly what we need to help put us over the top. These guys are not going to play like that every single game of a 7-game series if the Knicks are locking in and doing what they need to do defensively. Some games you're going to have to force them to shoot. Some games they're going to have to take it in. But if you have a guy like Mitchell Robinson protecting your rim, that's going to get you a long way. In the 2023 season, and I'm only using the 2023 season because Mitchell Robinson played more games, so it's a bigger sample size. I think he played about 59 and 61 games. So in the Knicks' defensive rating with Mitchell Robinson was 5 points better than it was without. So that talks to his impact. So at the end of the day, I expect him to have that same impact on this team. Right now, we have like we have 115 defensive rating. I expect him to improve that number, get us to 110, 111. And I think the more he gets acclimated playing next to Towns, the better that they're going to be. You saw Mitchell Robinson get better at moving around.
Hold on. We're going to get to Mitchell Robinson. Hold up, Dar. We're going to get to
Oh, yeah. But, I can talk about Mitchell.
I know. I want you to say that. So just save that. Please save that.
Yeah.
So I just want to just talk about the differences between this year and last year. And so let me get to Jay Boogie. But no, you do bring up some good points. Just in terms of like the SRS, I guess obviously the strength of schedule, and, same 17 and 12. And I guess I need to look at the last few seasons, but I could almost safely assume that 17 and 12 versus 500 team is probably the best, like you mentioned. So I believe your stat 100%. Because I'm trying to think about some of the other seasons where we played some top teams. I always remember us complaining about us struggling against some of the better teams, even when we had, when Brunson first came, the year where Randall had his first team All NBA season. So I agree with you on that. So that was a great find by you. But let me get to Jay Boogie, man. Jay Boogie, this year versus last year, what are some of the significant differences you're seeing, whether good or bad? Chemistry, what we had last year, obviously having guys like Randall, who was here for several years, and then buying into as much as you expect Randall to buy into the system last year, and then play alongside Jalen Brunson versus this year with Cat, who is buying into Tibbs' system despite him and Tibbs having their issues before with the Wolves. But if you could just talk about some of the differences you're seeing between this year and last year.
Off top, when we came into the season, we came in posing a major threat to the entire league. Even Vegas got us a major threat, and we're still a threat to the entire league. Where we at right now for Cat to come over here and doing what he's doing, you know what I'm saying, and fitting in and vibing, and giving us a different look than Julius could have done, it's a big step in the right direction. Bridges has his ups and downs, but still in all, it's a big threat. I love where we're at because the thing is, and which is more scary, is we can get better. I think last year team was a hard working team, but sometimes you can play hard, but sometimes you gotta have talent to win some games.
Mm.
But sometimes you gotta be able to play hard to win games too. This year, we're in both positions. We can play hard and we can win with talent. We have more talent on this team that we had than what we had last year. We got more guys that can do more things on this team. If you know the stats, we got 3 guys that had over 40 points this year. We got 4 guys that had over 30 points this year in our starting lineup. No other team has done that. So scoring the bucket and everything, that's not a problem or issue with us. So I look at like if you get stagnant in your system in the playoffs and you can't score against these guys, if they can continue on playing and they're gonna continue on scoring, then somehow, some way, I look for our best games is not even being played yet. Our biggest
Mm.
wins are not even meant not have our biggest wins have not been won yet. They're soon to come. So on pause, and let me get that out because you know how y'all guys are, y'all 2 guys.
I wasn't even
But
gonna say anything.
yeah, let me get that out. But I love where we at, and the biggest threat. Shout out to my guy Katz. He works with the Nick of Time show because I like hearing what other people say and then say what other people say instead of hearing what they say and then come back and say it and hope nobody heard it. Like I made it up. I don't do that, and I wish a lot of other people would stop doing that amongst what I'm saying our media. But he said, far as the threat of Mitch is more important than him actually playing. Knowing that he's going to be back there and all that there, it poses a threat to the other teams more important than how it's been over the first half. I'm not going to feed further into it because that's another subject, as Legion has said. But man, I love where we at, and I think our biggest wins are on the way coming later on this season. And I think we're going to play more better defense in the second half. I think Tom is, this break right here, he really got on his bulletin board, getting his X's and O's and figuring out what they need to do far as on the defensive end, because that's only our weakness right there. That's our weakness is defense. If we clamp down and we allow, I don't know what we're allowing other teams to average right now, but if they start averaging like a little bit like 4 or 5 more points lesser, and we can get about 4 or 5 more extra rebounds and about 4 or 5 more extra stops and maybe about 4 or 5 more steals some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a real, real scary team. But I love where we at versus the team we had last year. I like this team more because this team can do more things. And health is playing a part. I'm glad about the OG, the toe. It's the toe. It's the toe. It's the toe. We dodged one. The toe, man. That's it, man. That's all. It'll be back. But I like where this team is at right now. I think we're gonna be better in the second half.
I got. I agree. Even though I guess this leads to our second the second question, we can kind of mix it with another one too, man. In terms of Tibbs maximizing the talent, but more so that JB and the Cat foundation. Now, Jay Boogie, I remember we talked about this right before the Celtics game, and we said we have to see JB take it to another level. It's not necessarily scoring and do it. And granted, he had his 36 versus the Celtics, but you have to be convinced that once they see a team like the Celtics, they could play in a way that says either we could pick out a weakness of the Celtics, or we play in a way where we can control the tempo, control the game, and stop the Celtics from pouring on 30 on us to make this a competitive game, to get us into the fourth quarter, and it's tied up with 5 minutes left to go. Right? We were all waiting for that game from JB more so, and JB played well. Everybody else didn't, but then Cat, right? And granted, social media people, they just jump leaps and bounds and make crazy delusional leaps, right? Trade Cat now for we gotta get Giannis next year. But Cat did have a game where he struggled, right? He wasn't imposing his will in the paint. In the post, he was just non-existent for the most part. He's getting pushed out of the post all the way. Well, I saw he got pitched from the pinch where the foul line is all the way out to the top of the key. I think he's trying to post up Jaylen Brown. If I remember, I might be wrong. But when we talk about the Towners team and JB and Cat, is that the proper foundational duo, right? We talk about long term, right? And I know we're not. I'm not trying to be extreme either, but it's just, are you convinced that that duo could take you with a whole bunch of complementary players, ancillary players, role players, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to build around those guys? Are you convinced that this is the right duo? Because for years, people were thinking that it was going to be Randall and JB. Now, a lot of people said it's not. Randall's not that, but people have their love affair with Randall, and they said, nah, Randall's that guy. He could do it. Him and JB, you got to get rid of RJ. You got to do this. You got to do that. But do you see the same issues possibly for Cat? Maybe more so in just how he plays. And obviously, we see him take big leaps this season, playing under Tom Thibodeau. His offense, forget how the numbers look, how he's approaching the game, being more aggressive, attacking the basket. Obviously, Gobert not being there helps. But we see a new part of his game with Tibbs. But we have to ask the honest question. When we play against the Celtics, you play against the OKCs, you play against, even though he actually had a decent game against the OKC, you play against the Cavaliers, right? The first game I put a small little asterisk because I felt like JB was chucking. But when you play against these elite teams, are you convinced by Cat? Are you even convinced by JB that that's the proper duo going forward? So I'll let Darcy first answer that one. Look at J Boogie pondering like a freaking cartoon. But go ahead, Darcy.
So do I think JB and Towns are the right foundation?
Yes.
Yeah. And for me, the reason why I say that is not necessarily that I think they're doing, a great job in tandem. I just think, one, they don't hurt each other's game. So that goes a long way. And then two, they're a first-year team. We have to understand these things take time to build these championship teams. Look at how long the Celtics were good with Tatum and Brown before they were able to actually win something, right? We're hopeful to win something as fast as possible, but this could be a process where these guys legitimately have to go through something and hope, again, that's not the ideal situation, but they may have to go through something as a team before these guys are locked in with each other enough to have the confidence that they're going to win. When we go up against teams like the Celtics, we have to have the confidence that we can go in there and win. We had it last year when we played them. This year, I don't see it, right? JB, he's the head of the snake. If JB is not exuding that confidence that we see from him when he's on, then this team is not going to feel like they are ready to win. Now, again, come playoff time, I think as individuals, these guys want to win, so they will raise their games regardless and give their best effort individually. But as to whether we can come together as a team and play team basketball like the Celtics are going to play, that remains to be seen. And I don't think any sample size within the regular season is going to help us know that, because what we've seen from this team is we've had stretches where we weren't shooting the ball well and we could still win games. Right, so I think we're battle tested in ways where we are able to win games in different ways, but we don't have a large enough sample size, and we don't have the consistency to stand on it and say that we can win games in every single way possible, like how last year's team did. Right, we were the worst 3-point shooting team in the playoffs, and we got X'd out in the second round. And I think that was more so the year prior, before we had Devo, if I'm not mistaken, but we have to shoot the ball at a higher level. So that remains to be seen, and whether these guys are going to raise their game to do that. And then two, how does Mitchell Robinson, how do you maximize what he gives you, right? Obviously, you lose a little bit on spacing, but to me, that's the same situation with Precious Achiuwa. 6'8" forward, he's not really giving you much on the offensive. And then in terms of rim protection and defense, he gives you what he can give you, but you're going to get more with Mitchell Robinson, and you get more length in your lineups. But you can't pair these two guys together. So how do you balance it out? To me, does Mitchell Robinson start and you put Josh Hart on the bench and you get TJ Warren in the offense to help provide spacing? We don't have that threat off the bench to help us to score, and I think that's going to be a huge X factor when you're going up against a team like the Celtics, because they have the bench that what's dude named Luke Cornett, who's a former Knick, right? This guy is bringing great value for them. They had Kristaps out, and he stepped in and disrupted what we had planned. And one, as a coach, Tibbs has to be able to make in-game adjustments and understand in real time what this team is doing to be successful and how to counter that. And he did exemplify that by the fact that we were able to cut the lead. But the Knicks messed up not starting the game well. And then we also have to have a consistent identity of, does JB have to get us going? Is that the game plan? Because I see some games where he's trying to get everyone else going and it hurts us. And then there's some games where it's like, no, JB, we need you to be that guy that you were last year. He showed it against Houston, right? He turned it on. He showed it against the Hawks, but we need him to take it to another level. And honestly, it's going to have to be forced out of these guys. They're not.
But I'll say this though, to that, if you go back to that Celtics game, if you think about it though, he was the only guy who came to play, right? Like his 36-point game and the way he attacked wasn't. The game he had against Houston was great. 41, 42, whatever the hell it was, right? But the way he approached the Celtics game was almost the same way. Like, yo, all right, I'll hold down the scoring, because these other guys weren't really trying to. They weren't being aggressive to the basket. They were shying away from it. Mikal had a few mid-range attempts at first, but other than that, no one really wanted to do anything. But JB was trying to be the fire starter to say, okay, I'll blaze through the tunnel. You guys followed through. Cat didn't really do much of anything. Everybody kind of played a back seat. And then defensively, I don't even talk about defense. That was just terrible. But I think that teams are looking at it like, all right, we'll let JB kill us, but we'll just keep barraging with threes. We'll try to stretch out the defense. We'll try to run Mikal Bridges through as many screens as possible. But at the end of the day, JB's going to have his 36, 40 points, and we're still going to win by 30-something points because we spooked the rest of the team. That's how I felt like. So is it that Cat got to step up sometimes to be like, all right, I'll be the guy. Get me the ball in the post. They up by 10. They on an 8-0 run or whatever. Or when your man, we were down by 3, they go on a 19-3 run. I didn't see him try to impose himself in the paint, slow it down, try to get Tatum in some foul trouble, try to switch on the Tatum, get some foul trouble, try to get in a post to slow the game. I didn't see nothing by Cat, and this is what I talked about. He just IQ. A lot of it has to be force fed by Tibbs and the guys around him. But I didn't see nothing by Cat where you see that higher level of thinking. So I think teams are fine with JB because JB can only do so much in certain situations like that. But at some point, Cat got to step up. Your number 2 guy has to be a threat somehow. The Celtics do it. How many times you see Tatum kill in the first half, Brown kills in the second, or vice versa? Brown kills in the first half, Tatum shot 0 for 13 in the first, or 2 for 13 in the first half, comes back in the second half and kills. That's what happened in the Sixers game a few years ago. Not last year, the year before, where they play him in the playoffs. In that game 6 or whatever it was, I don't think it was game 7. It was game 6. Shot 0 for 13 in the first half. Shot like some 12 for 15 almost, probably. Just put like that in the second half. Where are you going to see that by Cat? And that's why I'm a little worried about when you have these teams that we consider boogeymen. Can Cat, can he lead from his perspective? Can he lead from that standpoint and be a proper number 2 to JB? Or can he carry the team when JB's struggling? Say JB can't shoot, but in that team, remember, the Celtics, they were missing KP. They had Namus Quetta and Luke Cornett and Horford. Those are only bigs they had, and Cat couldn't impose himself against those players. So,
to be honest with you, my take on Cat and watching him in previous playoff experience, I think he's going to be better prepared this year in the playoffs because when you look at last year, the thing that hurt him, especially in that Mavs series, was his shooting. And I think this year he made a vow to not rely on his shooting to win. Right? He's been taking it in. He's been scoring in every way possible as a big man, and that's what you want to see from your guy. But at the end of the day, I think we have to move away from this number 2 notion because at the end of the day, we really haven't seen a large sample size of games where it's like, all right, JB doesn't have it, Towns has it. Right? There was the game the other day where Josh Hart stepped up and him and Towns both had big games, and JB, I think, was in foul trouble or so. But we don't have a large sample size of games where these guys are being, all right, the number 1 doesn't have it, or it's a clear-cut number 1, number 2 kind of thing. I think overall, in order for us to win a championship, this team has to play team basketball. Right. And one, we also have to figure out in games why are there games where Karl Anthony Towns is only taking 8 attempts, right? That game against Cleveland, he took 8 shot attempts.
Yep.
That's unacceptable. You cannot go into games and do that. You need to one, his spacing is what is making us a better offensive team. We have to capitalize on that. JB, I don't think it's not that he's not trying to get Towns the ball. I don't think Towns is being assertive enough in a lot of games where teams are putting a smaller defender on him. He has to figure out how to counter that because, he's not getting a foul call, which he complains about a lot, and I think it hurts us to a degree, not a lot, but I don't want to put pressure on him to be a number 2 option because I think that's going to hurt us. What's going to come down to the Knicks winning is going to be X factor guys like Mikal Bridges stepping up. It's going to be OG Anunoby stepping up. It's going to be Josh Hart stepping up. It's going to be Mitchell Robinson's rebounding and defensive prowess that gives us momentum. It's going to be those little hustle plays. That's what we feed off of. I can see us going into the playoffs with a mental lock and a mental pressure on us because teams, they know what we expect. They know what we expect from this team. This is the real championship window. We expect us to make it out of the second round at minimum, or else this is a fail. And so I do worry. I have my concerns about what's going to be on these guys' mental going into the playoffs. And they have to learn through trial and error. So I'm willing to accept whatever the result is because this is their first year. Now, if they don't show year-over-year improvement, then I'm taking a look at Tom Thibodeau. I'm taking a look at what minor improvements we need to make to fortify this team. But guys like Cam Payne are going to serve a huge role come playoff time, bro. Cat and Brunson, JB's going to win us some games. Cat's going to help us win some games. But I don't think that these guys alone are going to be the reason why we go to the promised land. It's going to be these X factor guys. Mikal Bridges against the Celtics, when he was a net, he put in pain. In that first round matchup, I went to go look at his highlights. This dude was on against the Celtics. We need that version of him. I'm not even looking at Cat. I'm looking at these guys. Can you handle the pressure that's going to come playoff time? Because you've never played in the Garden. We're on your side. It takes one shot, 1-3 to go in, and the momentum swings in our direction. But it also takes the team going on a run to where we get quiet. Okay. So how are they going to play when those situations happen? We don't know.
Let me get to J Boogie, man. J Boogie, talk to me about this. Cat, JB, the duo. Are you convinced that they could lead us on some runs, some ECF, some championship runs in the near future? Obviously, again, a small sample size, but still got to ask the question. Then, you can also talk about the talent around this team. Has Tom Thibodeau maximized said talent, or are you seeing the positives regarding his coaching with the talent around these guys? Obviously, OG, Mikal Bridges. If you can even talk about, because Darcy talked about it to some extent too, but talk about it too, just that talent around these guys. Is it enough? Do we have to make some changes? Do you already see the need to make some changes? Obviously, OG being out. We've known that his injury history, so it is what it is. But other guys, Josh, Mikal, you're convinced that they could be the depth, at least a starting lineup depth around the JB and Cat duo. Expound upon it if you can.
I can't speak upon like what we may need until this season is done. But right now, Jay Boogie is in the mind frame to win in 16 games in the playoffs. That's my mind frame. I need 16 victories. This duel that we do have a dual threat. With Brunson and Towns, I'm not taking nothing away from Towns. You got the ball, dude. I'm not taking nothing away from him. I look for him, and I expect for him to put up these numbers. If the All-Star game doesn't go in the way of how they did it, don't forget that Towns was an Eastern Conference starter. He was labeled in that starting 5. Not Brunson, Towns. He was laid at state as a starter with Tatum. Y'all know the Eastern Conference starters, who it was. So I look for him to put up these numbers he's supposed to put up. You know, I don't look for that Minnesota guy. And I don't care about the pressure here. You can ball, you can ball. I need him to step his game all the way up. When it comes to Brunson, I hear you at the beginning when you were saying Brunson need to do more. I heard you at the beginning. But the thing is, we're only going to go as far as this team going to go. Everybody has to be on their best game night in, night out. Brunson is going to win a game in the series. Towns is going to win a game in the series. Brunson and Towns together are going to win a game in the series. But that fourth victory is going to have to be a team game winner. And Bruce is going to have to continue on stepping up. Josh is going to have to continue on. OG going to have to step up. We know, Bridges, you're going to have to play better in the second half than what you did in the first. You know, we're hoping Mitch comes along. Whatever else the bench does. And Tom, you have to coach better in the second half, and especially in the playoffs. We're still a threat to everybody, but I just need. We have a duel that I wouldn't break up, because if you take Towns, you hear the rumblings of Giannis away. If you take Towns away from this team has to be built differently. This guy is out there to stretch the floor. Now you're putting another guy on the floor that has to have the ball, and you know what I'm saying? People have to be in spots. People going to have to watch and see what he's going to do and all that, man. We got a guy that can do that. It's just the other guys got to step their game up. Bridges, you got to come alive. I need you to play like the Brooklyn Net guy. I don't need you to play like Phoenix over here. I need you to be getting 20-something a game the rest of the second half of the season. And OG, I just need him to stay healthy, and everything, you know, should work out for us, you know, how we would want it to work out. But it's going to have to be a team thing for us to move forward. It's not going to be no one guy, no two guys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going to have to be playing their best basketball to move forward and beat these special. You have to be able to perform your best basketball in the most crucialest time against the Boston Celtics. Whether it's making a crucial stop or getting a crucial bucket or making a crucial hustle or making a crucial rebound, a crucial block, a crucial steal, whatever it is. For Tom, a crucial play call, something that you're going to have to be playing your best basketball at the most crucialest time against the Celtics. Now, Cleveland, I think, you know what I'm saying, we still neck to neck with them. I still believe that we'll bust Cleveland. That's just how I feel. I think we're in the playoffs, it's going to be a totally different situation. It's a situation, yeah, okay, y'all the number one seed. Okay, can they continue on carrying that heavyweight? I think it's going to become dead weight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. My most concern is playing the Boston Celtics. I'm not worried about nothing else. Nothing else. And until we can show that we're not scared of Boston and really play physical with them guys, because they want to play finesse basketball. They don't want to get touched. You know, Tatum go inside his noggin one time. I need to get physical with these guys, because playing finesse, that's playing into their role. It's 5 and out. How you gonna play 5 and out when them guys is the 5 and out? They 5 and out. You think they don't know how to check the 5 and out, and they play 5 and out? You're gonna have to do different things against the Celtics. So, yeah, man. I like where we at, but in the playoffs, we're gonna have to go raise our game up to a whole nother level by team committee. Not just Brunson, not just Towns, but I expect Towns to play like an all-star. But everybody else, we're going to have to raise their game up to another level. Bridges, you need to be playing like I should have been an all-star. That's how you need to be playing. You know what I'm saying? Just fitting in. I don't need you to fit in. I need you to rock. I need you to be averaging some 23 points you was averaging over there across the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Now you're over here in Midtown. I need you to get them same numbers when you was across the bridge. You know, Josh, I'm not worried about Josh. Josh going to continue on doing what he does. Deuce, he's getting them more healthy. I think Deuce going to continue on doing what he does. But you're going to have to. Everybody's going to play their role. Everybody going to have to want it. You got to want it. And if you want it, then you can win it. If you don't want it, you're not going to win nothing in the playoffs. There's another second round exit.
So I had a question to that because you highlighted before and it was actually kind of mentioned before with Tom Thibodeau in the second half. We got some tough games coming up. Obviously, tough games in like the first week. We got the Cavaliers and the Celtics in the first three games. But when we talk about Tom Thibodeau's coaching, right? Take out minutes and minutes distributions, whatnot. Can you give me like at least two things that you would do differently? Especially when we talk about playing some of these top elite teams, that if you were Tom Thibodeau, that you would start implementing into this team's a style of play.
Well, I mean, for me, I think over the past couple of games, one thing that I noticed that I didn't like was I'm seeing lineups where there's Josh Hart, Precious, and I think he had Huck Porty out there, and it's like I get what you're trying to do there, but you don't have enough offensive versatility to deploy those three guys, especially not against teams that are top heavy that are scoring the ball on us crazy. You know, I don't see Josh Hart, Precious, and Porty out there. I want to see more balance with the offense because, especially in a game where guys are not shooting well, it's just I don't want to see gambles like that. If we're winning and we're dominating the team, then you experiment with your lineups. And again, you know what? I don't fault Thibs for trying different lineups against the Celtics because it's like you have to figure out if something works. Right now, you were able to cut the lead going into that third quarter, and then these guys pummeled us again. Pummeled us again. Now, that's a problem because what did you do? What changed that caused us to not be able to capitalize on an opportunity like that when we cut the lead? So you need to study film. You need to figure out what we did well and figure out what changed. And you better have the answers on the 23rd when we play them again. I expect us to at least have a super competitive game because if not, that is a problem. Because you have two games of film that, and again, we didn't give much on the first game and we didn't give much on this last game. But you have something that gives you the opportunity to make adjustments and figure something out. So if you don't come to the drawing board with that, and if it's not visible to us as fans, then there should be a level of concern there. Now, especially if you have OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson back, you need to figure it out. Thibs on a post game after the Celtics, he commented and said, "Hey, well, when you think Porzingis is going to play and then he doesn't play and they put in Luke Cornett, it does alter how you plan on playing that team." But again, as a good coach, a great coach, you have to be able to make those in-game adjustments and see what's going on in real time and capitalize on that. I look at OKC's coach; he does a very good job of doing that. He throws different things at you. When we played them in OKC. He ran a couple of plays against us in that fourth quarter that he didn't play all game, and we didn't. And he did it 2 or 3 times because we couldn't figure out how to defend it. It was like 2 or 3 plays where Lou Dort kept going into the paint and kicking out, and I'm like, yo, how many times are they gonna throw this play at us and we don't know how to defend it?
Yep.
So these are the little things that I'm noticing with my eye with Thibs that it's like, hey, we're not going to be perfect, and you're not out there controlling the players. Maybe they don't see what's going on, and that's why. But something has to give. And if we want to win a championship, we have to have the absolute best from top to bottom. We got the front office. That's check. Do we have the right coach? It's still a question that remains to be seen. Can Thibs capitalize and bring the best out of this roster?
That's my question to y'all, man. That's why I asked, can you give me 2 things right now? You mentioned the more offensive firepower to have, so better complementary lineups in terms of offense, right? We have Huck Purdy and Achua out there, but obviously, like you said, he's trying new things. I think that, and actually, let me get to Jay Boogie first. Jay Boogie, do you have any suggestions for Thibs, like just on-court things that you would change? You know, whether it is schemes, lineups, something that you would change going forward, going to the second half, especially when we play the elite teams like the Celtics, the Cavaliers. Now, I know you say you're not scared of Cavaliers, but you know, what would you run do differently? Now, I'll actually let me start off. 'Cause I'll give you guys this. I want to see Mikal Bridges run more pick and roll with Cat. I need to see Mikal Bridges not just talk about these pistol plays where they have whoever coming down and Bridges gets the hand or the ball, the handoff, gets off the screen from Cat. I do that as well too, but I need to see a more. Now they've been trying to do it where they play Brunson more off the ball. Josh is the ball handler, but I need to see like an actual offense. Like I need to see an offense where Brunson is the third option, but he has the biggest defensive. He has the best defensive assignment from the other team, right? The best defensive player, wing guard player, obviously on him. And I need to see an offense that is predicated or built around Cat, Mikal, and whomever else on the strong side. Where and Brunson's on the weak side, he's taking the defensive attention away. So that if that guy comes and collapses, say Mikal gets to the basket, Cat gets to the basket. If they need to, they could kick it out to Brunson on the outside. He get the shot, or that guy doesn't help out, and then teams have to figure out, oh, okay, all right, crap. We got to take so-and-so. We got to take, I'm just making this up, say Amen Thompson off of Brunson now. We got to, or whatever, shift him away from Brunson. Now Brunson in the fourth quarter has an easier assignment. Or now Brunson in the fourth quarter, they're getting desperate now because the offense for most of the game was not going to Brunson. It was going to somebody else. So Brunson now it's I have to deal with the element of Brunson. Now do I send doubles his way? Now somebody could come underneath at the top of the key or the foul line once they try to double Brunson up high. That means Mikal, that means Josh, that means even Cat. That's one of the changes I need to see made. Where Brunson is playing a lot more off the ball, which he can do. He did it last year with Randall. Right? So that's what my change. But let me get J Boogie. Any changes you could think of that Tom Thibodeau should run in terms of how he plays, especially when he plays against elite teams.
I mean, I'm myself. I want to see Brunson as a number two. I want to see Brunson receive the ball a little bit more.
Right.
Then I seen a possession where Brunson dribbled the ball 30 times. One possession, 30 times. That didn't make no sense at all. He
Yep.
brought the ball up court, dribbled up court, got up court, waited for his pick to come so he can get a mismatch, and then did his 1-2 step. You know what he does with it, man. I don't need Brunson doing all that, wearing down yourself for the second half and not being there. I need you as healthy as possible for the playoffs.
Mm.
So, yes, I need the offense to shift differently. Um, shift differently. Um, um, reverse the sides sometime with Josh and Bridges sometime. Pretty much you see Bridges receiving the ball pretty much on the right side of the more than anything. And Josh he gets the ball more likely on the left side. So I like to see them rotate them guys, rotate the offense, give the defense a different look. And don't look to trap so much against guys that know how to see the floor. Then you're trying to get the ball out of Tatum's hand. I'd rather for Tatum to just go ahead and do what he's doing one-on-one. Because he sees the floor so much, man. At times, he was just picking us apart. The Boston with that second, third, and that fourth pass would kill you because they got that many guys that can catch and shoot or catch and pass, and the third guy that's catching can catch and shoot. If it ain't Al Horford catching and shoot, so many guys on that team, you're gonna have to just play straight up defense sometime. And then on against teams that don't have that type of guys where really see the floor like that, don't have second and third options inside their offense. Yeah, trap their best ball play. Get the ball out of their best player hand and make somebody else win the game. But Tom's going to have to step his game up in a lot of ways in his coaching. Instead of watching the game so much, you know, see what you need to do inside the game instead of seeing what you need to do when the game is over and you want to tell everybody you want to go watch film. No, I don't need you to do that. I need Maurice Cheeks more involved. I don't know. Brian, I don't look for him to Brian, Brian, Brian looked like he ride the train to the game every night. I ain't parking over there. Cost I'll take the train. Ain't nobody gonna bother me. I'm 6'10", big. Yeah, okay, Brian. But yeah, I need different things. I
Oh
need
man.
if Indiana and Woody separate, I need him back on this bench.
Mm.
Let me put that out there. I need Woodson back on this bench. Go get Kenny Payne too. That's not working out neither. I need more assisted mind frame guys that can talk of the game, you know what I'm saying, to help these guys not only get in their mindset, but stay in their mindset of the game, you know. But yeah, that's what I got for you, man.
No, fair enough, and that's a great point on the Woody thing, man.
I'm watching this guy. I'm watching this guy, man. Excuse me. I just heard the craziest thing early today. I heard that I heard what I got in my phone was OKC is going to look to do any and everything they can to get this guy from Duke. This is what
Cooper
I heard.
Flag.
They got 5 number 1 first round draft picks for this year and next year combined, and they got players. They are saying they are looking to go get this guy Flag. Oh my god!
I think Flag is good. I don't think he's the best in it. But you know what though? For what they're
In
trying
this
to do,
league, when you can't touch nobody, I go 1-on-1. This sticky tank. He's gonna be something crazy in it.
I don't know if I take him over Bailey though, man. I
Over
like
who?
Bailey, man. I like Bailey, man. That dude is a dog. His
So my
game is
Rutgers, right?
beautiful. Yes, sir.
They just got aired the other day too, right?
And by the way, screw you, Villanova, because y'all beat my St. John's, but then y'all lost to Providence. Under 500 Providence. That was foul of y'all. So screw y'all, Villanova, man. I watched that bum ass game versus Providence, but I got so sick to my stomach beating my St. Johnny's like y'all did the other day, man. But suit to Rick
I
Pitino, man.
can't say. I will say the red sweater is back. The Louis
Yes, sir.
sweater is back.
Yes, sir.
Red Storm, yes, the Louis Carseco sweater is back. It's back.
Let's
Yeah.
go. What you talking about, man?
Shout out to Rick, man.
All day, man. Rick Pitino, bro. Underrated legendary coach. Just not getting enough accolades, man. Salute to Rick Pitino for bringing back St. Johnny's. But after the years, man, I grew up watching Eric Barkley, Ron Artest, before that Felipe Lopez, man. Come on, man. Come on. That's the only college basketball team that I felt like invested in because they were New York,
Man.
obviously.
You don't know nothing about Willie Glass and all that,
All right,
man.
all right. You see, he'll start naming people.
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah, I knew you was gonna do that.
You don't know about Walter Berry and all that, man.
I couldn't get away with it. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
Mosley and all that. Come on, man. You don't know.
Mullen, look, he forgot Mullen too. Wow.
See, I
Mullen.
don't have to say. You're supposed to know Mullen. See, I knew you would say you forgot Mullen. You forgot. I knew you would say that.
That's why. Y'all see this, y'all? That's
I
crazy.
don't have to say Mullen. You're supposed to know Mullen. I'm naming guys you ain't even gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. He'll name guys out before my time.
Come on, man.
He's slick. You're not slick, Jay Boogie. You're not slick.
Come on, my man Greg Boo Harvey was there, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, keep going, watch.
Let's get the money, man.
Salute to Jay Boogie, man. But let me ask you guys this, man. Because this is Darcy's part, so I'm gonna let Darcy go. Because this dude was already going when I asked a question on the differences between this guy's already going. And you mentioned it too, Jay Boogie. I want you to expound upon this because you said, and salute to Nick of Time, the dude from Nick of Time, you said mention this. So please, if you can expound upon, obviously, I don't want to take his credit, but if you could expound upon it. Mitchell Robinson being a big acquisition for this season before the trade deadline is up. Mitchell Robinson, obviously, his defense and rebounding would be a major plus for the Knicks. Even though I still think that because of injuries, he doesn't move as well laterally as he did when he first was on the Knicks, where I could put him on an island on the outside. So I do think teams like the Celtics, they're going to try to pick and pop him to death, like they did in the first game last year. Tatum and KP did it. But obviously, outside of Celtics, he should be a major benefit for the Knicks. How many times this season we lose because we couldn't get offensive rebounds or teams had a bunch of second chance points against us? So I want you guys to expound upon how big of an impact Mitch Robinson can be, and specifically you. I'm gonna let Darcy go first, but I want you, Jay Booker, when you talk about even a specter of Mitchell Robinson can create fear, because I disagree with it, but I want to hear your explanation. But let me let Darcy cook first.
Well, I mean, I disagree with the whole him, not being a value add even against the Celtics. To me, he's the X factor. because one, with Mitchell Robinson's rim protection, he gives you the opportunity for your point of attack defenders to be more aggressive in defending the three. The Celtics have lit us up from three. When you have Mitchell Robinson there, your point of attack defenders can be more aggressive. They can be more assertive in trying to, one, get over screens and contest shots from three, because if you get beat, you have Mitchell Robinson there to go in and provide protection at the rim if they try to penetrate or if they try to kick. At the end of the day, we play drop coverage. So, when you have a guy like Mitchell Robinson, he's going to disrupt a lot of that kicking out that teams will try to do. The most effective shots are the three-point shot and the mid-range. So he's going to force you into difficult mid-range. And with him being such a good rim protector, your point of attack defenders can now, again, be assertive and contest threes and fight over the screens more. So that's what I expect to see more from Mikal and OG when Mitch returns. So I think he will make a huge difference. I did see, the first game we played the Celtics with him, it was a little rough with KP, but the following games that he played well against him. So, I mean, like I said, and the thing about it, Mitch has grown better at defending around the perimeter. When you look at, one, how he picked up Embiid, he didn't necessarily have to pick up Embiid in the paint. He picked up Embiid from wherever he was at and was able to defend him at a high level. You see Mitch block a couple of threes. Mitch was actually blocking a lot of threes before he got injured. That was something that was notable before he went down with that last injury. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, he's grown in a lot of areas, and I don't think he gets any credit for that. But I think he's going to make a huge difference. And if he brings out any just small smidgen of his offensive bag, he's going to be huge for this team, because he has to, one, not the Celtics killed us on offensive rebounds. They ate us up. Mitchell Robinson balances that out tremendously. When you go watch highlights of him, I think he had a 11 point, 13 rebound game, 2 blocks. Mm-hmm. His impact was there. He frustrated them. He made them call timeout like 3 times because he was crashing the board so hard against them, and they were getting frustrated. Like, Al Horford, do something about it. Like, Mitch is really a problem, and it's going to show this year. I promise you, it's going to show when he gets on that court. He's going to change how this team looks. His confidence that he plays with, the grittiness that he plays with, bro, I'm telling you, it's going to invigorate this team. We don't have the toughness. His size.
Darcy's freezing, bro. Yeah. Yo, Darcy, hold on. Just you said his size, just from the size part, because you froze out for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you froze. You guys froze too. Just his size, bro. His presence on the court. Mitch towers over a lot of guys, and not even just his height, but just his weight, his size, his mass. Bro, bro is gonna turn around and really, bro. Like in Towns, yo, you know how many? And out of every game, and I kid you not, and I love Towns. But probably every game that I've watched, I don't think there hasn't been a game where I've seen him go up to contest and he's either too slow, and I'm just like, Mitch would have blocked that. Or Mitch would have at least altered that. Or Mitch would have contested.
Towns, look, I give Towns credit in the sense that he's trying, but you can see him, especially with that thumb injury, he's in pain. He kind of, I don't want to say gets gassed, but he just has the wear and tear on him. So Mitch Robinson definitely helped. I never said that he wouldn't be a value add against the Celtics. My point is that the Celtics, they know that, again, he's going to, and granted, thank God he lost some weight, so that definitely helps him in terms of just being agile, a little more mobile. But they're going to be trying to run him through that pick and pop and put him through the ringer to put stress on Mitch. That's what the Celtics did the first game last year, bro. If you go back and watch it, go watch the pick and pop. They were running pick and pop, Tatum and KD.
We didn't have Carl Anthony Towns, and that's the X factor. You have 2 7-footers on the floor now.
Yeah, but both of them don't.
You can only do it with one.
Yeah,
you can only do it with one, and you can switch defenders. Mitchell Robinson's help defense, bro. You can put him on whoever. You don't have to let them force you into any defensive sets. Switch. Get somebody else on him. But you don't, I think, again, we can't compare what you saw from Mitch with last year. You have another 7-footer on the floor next to him now. We have to believe that that's going to make a difference. How could it not? If Towns is not getting put in the blender all the time, I don't think that that's going to happen with Mitch all of a sudden because he's playing now. I just don't. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe one. Like I said, Mitch is going to provide so much. Teams are going to target Cat before they target Mitch. Mitch can defend you on the perimeter, and Mitch can defend you in the paint. You're not going to try to get him into action and think he can't disrupt you. You're going to try to get Cat into these type of plays because, one, he's an offensive threat, so you want to get him into foul trouble more than you want to get Mitchell Robinson. So to me, Cat is the liability there. Mitch is not the one I'm worried about. Before, yeah, Mitch might have been that guy because he's a 7-footer. And again, you want to get him off the court because of his rim protection. So you want to get him into foul trouble. So you want to get him into action. But they can't do that with him and Towns at the same time. They can't. How are they going to do that?
But you could run pick and pop on either one of them is my point. Mitchell Robinson is not. I'm not talking about pick and roll. I said pick and pop. That's this. The Celtics shoot threes. They hoes. They hoes for threes. We know that.
Bro,
so go ahead.
Even in the mid-range, look at how well Mitchell Robinson was blocking shots last year, bro.
The mid-range, the Celtics ain't shooting no damn mid-range. They shoot threes. That's all.
Bro, Jason Tatum. I mean, not Jaylen Brown was not making threes against him.
Oh, he was okay. Okay. Let me not to not be absolute. I'm generalizing but their philosophy is to shoot threes, and they've been doing that against the Knicks for some years now. I'm just saying with Mitch. I'm not saying Mitch is not gonna be viable in the paint, or I'm just saying they're gonna find, unless Mitch is healthy enough to be running out and defend the outside and is comfortable enough to defend the outside, they're gonna be trying to pick him apart with the pick and pop. That's all. I'm not saying that he's not protect the paint. I'm just saying that. Go ahead.
I agree. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I just think that overall, you're going to get more value with him on the court than those type of situations are going to impact him and hurt the team. I think at the end of the day, whatever you try to put, whatever situation you put Mitch in, I think we have Mo Cheeks, right? We have guys that are going to help him to understand what he needs to do differently when teams try to put these different tactics, right? Just like they try to get him to the free throw line. He knocked down some key free throws in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, and you saw him getting blocks on threes. He's blocking mid-ranges. He's blocking threes. He can get there and contest a shot. 7'4" wingspan, this guy is jumping in front of you to block your shot. That's better than OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges coming at you to try to contest. So I would, even if it leads down to them spraying and he has to run and go and contest, I'll take that. But you have 2 7-footers on the floor now. And Mitchell Robinson not only can get you second chance points with his offensive rebound, and people talk about, oh, Mitch can't score. He doesn't need to score. One, what's more efficient is for the other players to score. So he's getting those second chance points when he's offensive rebounding. So he gets you those second chance threes. He gets you those second chance mid-range shots that Mikal can take. He doesn't need to score. So like I said, it's so many different ways that the Knicks can utilize Mitch. You're going to have 2 7-footers on the floor now. We already have a 115 defensive rating with Towns at the 5. So insert Mitch in there and move Towns to the 4. To me, put Josh Hart on the bench.
Okay, let me get to Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie, talk to me, man, because you mentioned something interesting before, how just the specter of Mitchell Robinson could put fear in teams. So I want you to expound upon that and speak on that. Like, why'd you agree with that sentiment?
Because he opposes a threat. See, like I'm just going to use Tatum, for example. If Tatum has the ball, right, that's OG checking him. So you know a screen going to come, right? That's if Mitch is in the game. You know, I don't look for Mitch to become a starter, me personally. I believe he's coming off the bench, and when he comes in off the bench, the opposing team at least going to have 2 of their starters out of the game. But I'm just using OG with Tatum for example. The example is, like, number one is OG's going to fight through the screen. So you want to force Tatum to drive. You don't want to go under because you already got Mitch there. So if you're forcing him to drive, And by stepping up on the screen, he's not challenging Mitch like that. Now, if he goes to the basket and he alters the shot, to me, that's a block by Mitch. If he changes his shot, alters and miss, that's a block. So a lot of teams, some going to challenge, but now knowing that when he's in the game, he's down there, that's a different defensive threat. You know what I'm saying? With that basket behind that big guy's back, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to get to that basket than it is with Towns. It's a bigger threat. It's a bigger guy. It's a bigger wingspan. It's a better defensive player. All that. So now you're gonna have to really play on perimeter basketball. It's no penetrating the kick, too much more as it's been, as Towns being the center, compared to being Mitch being the center. We know Towns is actually just really playing his best basketball as a power forward, where he don't have to play center, but it's working out here because he stretches the floor, and you don't have many bigs. You don't have bigs over here in the East that really can compete with that. Far as checking Towns over here in the East, but he just plays. He just poses too much of a threat, and he's lighter. To my understanding, he's lighter. He's going to be able to move his feet a little bit better. And just for him, letting everybody know, I'm not coming back until I'm completely fully healthy and ready. I like that. And then it's a difference between Mitch coming back when he's ready and the Knicks allow him to come back when they feel he's ready, compared to like last year when we tried to sit him in the office. The league office was forcing him back when they was telling him, "Nah, you're not going to sit out these many games. You could the report from your injury and your doctor say you could be back at this time." And then he really wasn't really ready. You know what I mean? Just because they say you can get back to this day and play, that doesn't mean you can play. It means that you can start working out. But they was trying to force this guy to come out here and play. And he hobbled on the court against Philly. He did what he could do. But I think Mitch is going to be able to provide a defensive stamina that we really been missing in the first half. Along with him, you got him and OG on that floor with Bridges, Josh. I'm just going to say, Deuce, you got 5 guys out there that can shut somebody down, especially if we're winning and now you're playing more defense than you want to play offense. That's a 5 right there that I feel very, very confident about. And them guys up in front of Mitch really pressing the ball and knowing they got this big guy back there and it's going to pose a threat on the defensive end to our rim compared to what we've been having with Towns at the rim.
And imagine Towns and Mitch both going up for rebounds, bro. Like you saw what Randall was doing next to Mitch, right? Mitch masked up so much just defensive issues that we had. We had R.J. Barrett. We had Alfred Payton. Julius Randle.
Come a long way, man. A long way from Alfred.
Keep that with Alfred Payne, because I know you want to say it for RJ Barrett. Keep that for Alfred Payne. Yeah, we came over for Alfred Payne, all right? I know you're trying to say on my son RJ, man. But go ahead, Darcy. You're really interrupted by Big Boogie, man. You ain't slick.
But,
bro.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I necessarily want Mitch to immediately come back and start, but I think, one, Thibs has to insert Mitch next to Towns and see what that lineup looks like, right? Look at the impact on the game over a course of maybe 10 games and see if the numbers tell you that that's what you should go with. But like I said, to me, it's like, yo, I think OG needs more touches, right? Because he's being more aggressive on offense now. And you saw the comments that he made. So clearly Josh was talking about OG when he made those remarks about having an ego. But OG is a guy, hey, maybe he's best when he is getting a little bit more touches and being inserted into action and being able to score the ball more. Because at the end of the day, we're going to need these guys to do that come playoff time. JB's not going to have it every game. Towns is not going to have it every game. Somebody, one of these guys, And probably every single series is going to need to have a big game in order for us to come out. So we need to be making sure that these guys offensively, that they're ready, they're warmed up, and they're getting the touches that they feel comfortable with. And if OG doesn't feel like he's getting that, then that's on them to figure out how to get that. And to me, Josh Hart, I love what Josh Hart gives the Knicks. We are good right now, but I think defensively, that's where teams are eating us up at. They're taking it to us in the paint. A team like Houston, they don't have to shoot well against us to beat us. Mm-hmm. So we can't have stuff like that because we don't shoot well every game. So when we're not shooting well, we need to be able to get stops. You look at what happened against Boston, we cut the lead to 3, and guess what? We couldn't get stops. Last year's team, that would have been a completely different story. We would have got stops and kept the momentum going. So the fact that we cut the lead and then Boston just just mollywopped us literally again in the same format tells you that you need Mitchell Robinson there because that's a guy who's going to make them take tough shots, contested shots. So, and again, your point of attack defenders can be more aggressive with defending the 3 because even if they get beat, you have rim protection there. You can't trust that Karl Anthony Towns is going to protect the rim if Mikal Bridges gets beat. Trae Young, floater, wet. Every guard that plays against us can eat in the paint if they want to because Towns is not going to contest and block these shots. It's just the reality, and it's not a knock on him. He's too slow. He's a bigger body. Mitchell Robinson is just better fit for that job. And you put him next to Towns, you have 2 7-footers on the floor. And Towns has a good passing ability, so imagine him throwing a lob to Mitchell Robinson. If he gets to the rim and he misses the layup, Mitchell Robinson right there for a putback or the offensive rebound, it's going to be butter.
It's going to be interesting to see because Mitch comes back, Cat. Obviously, OG is day-to-day now with the foot injury. But everybody assumes that Josh will be the first guy to go out. I do worry about connecting and play with that squad, but then if you have second chance opportunities afforded to you by Mitchell Robinson, that does bring down Josh's value down somewhat, especially just on the rebounding more likely. But it'll be interesting to see. Look, I'm happy Mitchell Robinson is close to being healthy. Hopefully he can sustain himself. He just started doing contact drills, so I think late this February is what they're predicting or expecting. But Mitchell Robinson could be a difference maker because second chance opportunities will be fought on offensive rebounding end, which in terms of offensive rebounding, we've been struggling this season, even though second chance opportunities we're not doing the worst at. But when Mitchell Robinson is there, you don't have to have so many guys having to crash the board. So he definitely helps spell some of our players. And at the end of games, obviously, Mitchell Robinson helping defend in that paint. Where we've had a lot of defensive lapses. That's one thing that we've had some communication issues that have led to some easy baskets or some doable baskets in the paint. And Mitchell Robinson just, even when you're playing drop back, if you have some of these guys like we did well against the Kings because of this. But just have Mitchell Robinson there as a force in the paint, just it does wonders for his team, even when our communications are piss poor. So we'll see. But let me ask you guys this, man. Last question of the night. ECF squad, man, do we have enough to make a run this season? Do we have enough depth come off our bench? And if we don't make if we lose in the first round of the season, and if we lose in the second round of the season, are we making a change at the coaching level?
So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first this time because I got to get ready to wrap up. But if we get in the second round and we go out something like 6 games, they're gonna make a coaching change. They're gonna make a coaching change. And that's not to disrespect to Tom for the things he has done, but they're gonna be looking for somebody that's more of them guys' age level that can lift them take them into a, further than what Tom has done. We don't put the team together for Tom, whereas it's on Tom to be able to get as far as he can, especially if we're healthy. If we're healthy and we lose with Tom, probably gonna look for somebody else to come in and look to carry these guys into another level they need to be going to. Um, I've been saying it and I continue on saying my pick, if Tom is not here, is Quinn from Miami. That's my pick because I know where he comes from. Pat Riley and Sprocia. He's number one assistant. And he's on them guys' age level. So that's my personal pick. But I want to see if Bogdanovich is brought out. I want to see him back on his Knicks team. And I want TJ Warren to come up. Give me TJ Warren and Bogdanovich with Mitch, Precious, Deuce, Ham coming off the bench. I'm good. I got some scoring and I got a little defense. I got defense with Cam, defense with Deuce. I got defense with Mitch, and I got defense with Sneaks, aka Precious. I got that, and I got scoring. Deuce can score. He can hit shots. Cam, I don't really need him taking them crazy shots, but I need two other people that can take shots and score, and that's Bogdanovich and give me TJ Warren, and then I'm good with everything else. But we need more. We need another punch off that bench that can do something. That because if you can provide defense and you can provide scoring, then that's more rest for the ones that you subbed in for.
Right.
You know, that's why I look at it. I'm looking to be fresh as we can going down this stretch. You know, the lesser minutes we play, the harder we can play for the minutes that we are playing. You know, so that's where I'm at. You know, guys, I gotta rip out or baby shit. I gotta go over homework. I ain't even eat yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get your.
Dorothy don't have DoorDash, knock on the door, kick the door, however they do it. I didn't know what was going on. Look at the footage, man. They was tearing your door up, man.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Nah, I cook, bro. I cook.
And shout out to my guy, man. Always, doing what he doing, man. Appreciate you always to the fullest, man. And more importantly, I appreciate you as a friend because me and this guy, we conversate off the screen. That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool. We be talking, kicking. It ain't got nothing to do with basketball, man. He know what we be talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
don't make me put my collar up. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe go put my black jacket on. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Guy, anyway, I appreciate you, Jay Boogie, man. This guy, it's my brother, man. Shoot to Jay Boogie, man. I appreciate
you, man. Hey, Dorsey, man. Keep rocking, doing what you do, my G. Where you at? Where you? I know you said you was in Cleveland. Where you at now?
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. But yo, shout out to y'all, man. Keep doing what you doing, man. I see you real soon. I gotta get up top, man. Up top, man.
Appreciate
all right.
You.
God bless. Shout out to the chat, man. Hit those like buttons, subscribe, share, please, man. Hit the like buttons. Yes, I don't know how many people don't hit it. I can't see. I don't got my laptop on or nothing, man. But I know hit the like button, man. Now, matter of fact, you know what he said. Yo, hit the rock. Salute.
And check your text. Check your text. I sent you something funny. Check your text.
All right, dude. All right.
Salute Jay Boogie, man. So, talk to me, man. Do we have enough for a run, bro? Do we have enough depth? And by the way, yes, we cannot sign Bogdan because he's at 21 million, which is over the Miller exception. But I get where Jay Boogie's trying to go in terms of getting a shooter, a wing to kind of be that extra piece, even if it's just a depth piece. If guys get hurt. But please, Darcy, expound upon this last point before we get out of here, man. Go ahead.
I think you get TJ Warren. You get TJ Warren come March 1st or whatever the date is that you're eligible to bring him up. You get TJ Warren, and you have that threat off the bench, a guy who can provide space and a 3-level scorer who can sort of serve in that role like Alec Burks did last year in the playoffs. A guy that can come in and score buckets when your guys are tired or maybe not hitting shots. right? And I think, again, he gives you spacing off the bench. So Campaign gets better shots. Miles McBride gets better shots. I think that's what we have to figure out how to bring with our bench. How do we get them better shots so they can score more efficiently? Landry Shamet, he's not really shooting the ball well right now, but again, that's because he doesn't have a consistent role off the bench with shooting, and we're not really seeking him out on the offense. So I think if you put a guy out there like TJ Warren, where teams have to actually game plan against him in the offense, that's going to make us a little bit more of a threat, right? And then you get Precious, and you mix and match there off the bench. I think you're going to get some value add out of that. I didn't agree with JB when he said that he feel like Thibs will get fired if we, went out in 6 against the Celtics. No, I mean, I think that's who would be our second round matchup. I think they're the defending champions, so you want to see how you match up against them. So that is a team that is acceptable. That if you lose in your first year, especially Karl Anthony Towns barely had a full training camp. This is reality.
So you think he's going to get a reprieve this year? If we lose in the first round, he's not going to get fired?
No, I don't think he's going to get fired. One being because Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau are really good friends. And then two, the simple fact of the matter is Thibs has made it known this is his dream job. You want to give him the opportunity to learn, right? One, how a lot of coaches could take some time to learn how to effectively manage a team with this much talent. Mm-hmm. Right? You had to quickly get Karl Anthony Towns into the mix. You had to get Mikal Bridges into the mix. The identity of your team completely changed from what you had already established. So now you're starting from day one. You're starting to take your first steps. So why fire the coach when he has to learn and adjust, right? I think you give Thibs at least 2 years with this roster. And I think it ultimately depends on how you go out the playoffs, right? Was the team competitive, right? Was it a clear cut view that you got out coached, right? If that doesn't happen, then it's okay to go out just based on the fact, hey, maybe we just didn't have enough, right? Against the defending champions, that's okay. But I don't think this takes the belt because of that. I think the front office has to realize, hey, we didn't put a lot of talent around these guys.
I also say this too, man. He's a buffer for Leon Rose. Leon Rose enjoyed the fact that Thibs gets a lot of the blame by the media, by the fans, for a lot of things that have been going on over the past few years. And if you think about it, last 2 playoff runs, we've been hit. And I'm not blaming anybody. These are 2 freak injuries that happened to Randall. First year, Randall gets literally 2 ankle injuries on the same ankle in a span of, 3 weeks? Last year, Randall has the brutal injury to his shoulder, and then OG Anunoby gets hurt. So, and obviously Mitch. So it's like, I'm not saying Thibs, because a lot of people look at this like, oh, Thibs, we have to win a championship now. And that's like, bro, Mike Malone has been the coach of the Denver Nuggets for 85 billion years and just won a chip. Sometimes it's not about just changing for changing's sake. If you have a coach that's winning, you're getting to a certain level, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't have to cut. I remember back in the day, I don't know if you remember, I watched a lot of football, and I remember when Marty Schottenheimer got fired. This is when the Chargers were good. The last time the Chargers were a legitimate threat, they had Phillip Rivers. They had, who was the light-skinned linebacker that always used to do the thunder dance? I'm forgetting his damn name now. They had a bunch of weapons. What's your man? Antonio Cromartie, cornerback, and Marty Schottenheimer. People got he had issues with the ownership, but the ownership and the GM were dumb. Spanos and whatever his name is, idiots. But Marty Schottenheimer would get him to a 14-2 record, 13-3 every single year. Now people say his offense got predictable, but they probably would have went to the next round if your man did not. Your man, I'm forgetting the safety or defensive back, caught an interception, try to run it out, fumble the ball, get right back to the Patriots. Patriots end up winning. If he catches the ball and just drops down to the ground, the Chargers most likely win that game. They move on to the second. Not Junior Seau, light-skinned black dude. Not Junior Seau. Damn, why am I forgetting this dude's name? He used to do the thunder dance. He used to have the mohawk on his head. I'm forgetting his freaking name. But sometimes people think, oh, we just got to change something for change's sake. because we're not winning now. We're never gonna. It's like sometimes stay the course. Guys got hurt. See what Tom Thibodeau, Sean Merriman. Thank you, Ben. Did anything? Sean Merriman. I don't know why I couldn't remember his damn dude's name. Thank you, Sean Merriman. And it's like sometimes your man Sean Hyman was winning with the Chiefs, but people thought, oh, his offense is too predictable. Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass. And it's like, nah. Sometimes it's you gotta let the talent coalesce. Sometimes when you have these freak injuries, freak situations, it's not on a coach. It's any coach could have coached out of what Tom Thibodeau is going through some of these years. When your second best player is hurt, even if we weren't gonna beat the Nuggets, your second best player was hurt. He wasn't 100% with them legs out, with the ankles against the Heat. Maybe if he's healthy, we have a different series. You could depend upon him a little bit better offensively. Then also to that whole squad, besides Brunson and RJ, no one could score in that squad. Even when we played the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was just defense and Brunson for the most part. So, and again, look, Tom Thibodeau, there has to be improvements. And if we went losing the first round, here's why I get scared. If it's in the first round and players start tuning him out, that's when you have to start making a change. All right, these guys aren't responding anymore. There's not much you could do in terms of moving contracts, getting rid of contracts easily. Then yes, the coach may have to go. But I don't see these guys still play. It's funny. As much as fans,
yeah, they won't do that to Tibbs, bro.
They play hard for this dude. Pause. I don't even. But they play tough for this guy Tibbs. For all to talk about all his defense, this and that, and maybe that's why they got Brunson and Josh, and they get players from a certain type of school pedigree where it's all defense fundamentals from Jay Wright and all that stuff. Maybe that's part of the plan, which is smart. But I to this day, I still don't see these guys. I just even listened to a podcast that had Kyle Korver, who was one of the people that did not like Tom Thibodeau. And he said the reason, crap. At first I thought it was, the defense. The reason why he didn't like Tom Thibodeau was because Tom Thibodeau wouldn't refer to him by his name. He would just be like, oh, yeah, you do this, you do that, whatever. So he kind of felt like Tibbs wasn't like giving the proper respect, which is messed up when he's with the Bulls. But other than that, always people are like, I would never play for Tom Thibodeau. But man, these guys play for him. And I've heard from other players on the podcast, former players, they're like, yo, you can say whatever about Tom Thibodeau, but you're going to play. If you're in his wheelhouse, if you're in his good graces, you are gonna play. So for those people that you heard people complain, yo man, Tom, I want playing time. I get. If you follow these rules, you play defense. You know where you are on the court offensively. You're following the basic fundamentals of Tom Thibodeau offense. You're gonna get playing time. So there's not gonna be no, and you might get paid. iHeart, knows well. All these guys, they're getting paid. So. I just think that it has to take a weird circumstance for Tibbs to get fired, even if it's first round. Even I guess a man in which we lose the first round, like I said, if guys are tuning out, I don't see that happening. So I'm interested. And again, the first round guys we have at this point will either be the Heat or the Pistons. Pistons probably scarier team. Heat don't scare me as much without Jimmy Butler there. But the Pistons could definitely be some issues. Even though I think playoff experience, this team is going to turn up. It happens all the time. We were seeing. These young upstart teams, once again, the playoffs against more experienced teams, they kind of just struggle. Not saying I look down upon them, but yeah, let me shut up, man. Darcy, if I cut you off, I apologize, bro. But yeah, please finish your point. You're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the bench, bro. Yeah, I think you need to bring up T.J. Warren for sure. And not just bring him up, but actually let him play. Like he needs to be in a rotation, right? I'd rather him taking the shots that Shaman takes. And again, if he can give you at least just average defense, you're perfectly fine, right? You got Mitch there to protect the rim. You got a guy like T.J. Warren who can give you points off the bench. He's going to help add spacing for Campaign and for Miles McBride to get better shots, right? And so I'm expecting these guys to be ready come playoff time. I don't think that Thibs' job is in jeopardy for at least 2 years. And the reason why I say that is because it's really family ties. JB's dad has a great relationship with Thibs and was already on his coaching staff. Thibs was around JB as a kid. So JB does not want Thibs gone. And I don't think you get rid of Thibs unless you get some feedback from the players that would indicate that he's not a good coach for this team. And I just don't think that JB would backdoor Thibs like that. I just don't. I don't see that happening. I see Thibs being the coach for this team for the at least two to 3 years. And I think he's going to be allowed the bandwidth for this team to make some mistakes because we are damn near a second apron team. It is very challenging to build around this team, and we are lacking on bench staff. So if we can't go the distance, right? And if Towns, let's say, isn't playing well, it's not because of this. I just don't think it would be because of this. So, but do we have enough? Yeah, I do get concerned about that. But when I look at guys in their track record, guys like Campaign, Shamit, I expect all these guys to raise their game come playoff time. And I don't think we're going to – I think this is a team that because they know what they have, they're excited and just ready for the playoffs. And I don't think we're really going to get a full glimpse of that until come that April window, right? When you're playing the Cavs 3 times in that month, right? Because these are teams that you could really match up against, so you're going to need to bring your A game. So I expect these guys to realize, the playoffs are around the corner. We got to ramp up. We have to play our best basketball. Because we need to understand, one, what we do well against these teams, and we need to also understand what it is that we don't do well. But we need to know what we do well against them. Because if we don't have an idea of that, we can't win. We won't know what to deploy on offense. That's like the Bucks. The Bucks, we spanked them the last 2 matchups. When we played them on March 28th on their court, they better have something figured out. So it's the same thing with us playing the Celtics on the 23rd. This is your 3rd time playing them. You only have 1 more time to play them, and that's in April, which is going to be a huge game. This 23rd game, I hope Mitchell Robinson is back because you want at least 2 games with footage with him playing them so you know what they're trying to do to take him out the game. You need at least 2 game sample size because they're going to make adjustments when we see them in the playoffs. Get Mitchell Robinson back for this game.
They'll be prepared, man. Celtics, man, people just think it's just them shooting 3, but the way they played us last game, bro, is upsetting, bro. They know where our weaknesses lie, even when they have their guys out, man. So I agree. Mitch Robinson, you hope, because I think it's the second game, which is what, Friday? This Friday coming up as you play the Celtics? Or is that the Cavaliers? Hold up. No, we played Bulls. No, sorry, we played Celtics Sunday. My bad. So it's Bulls, Cavaliers, and then Celtics. So, and we got a tough start.
Wait, when we play the Cavs?
You play the Cavaliers. I'm sorry, my bad. I said that wrong. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, I was about to say we play the Bulls, then the Celtics, then the Cavs, I think.
No. I said it right. My bad. No, we play the Bulls Thursday. We play the Cavaliers Friday. Then we play the Celtics on Sunday.
Oh, we playing back to back?
Playing back to back, bro. Yo.
Yeah, so why the fuck I keep talking about the Celtics game? I didn't even know we see. So, you know what? Yeah, get Mitchell Robinson back against the Cavs. You need him back for that game.
That would be a nice match, especially with what he did.
Yeah. And again, Evan Mobley, I'm not going to fake Evan Mobley seems to be better. So I want to see how Towns and Mitch match up against him. You need this film. You need it now. You don't want to wait till April to be figuring out how to play against teams that you're most likely going to have to make it through in the playoffs. You need to have winning footage now. And the Knicks need to play with that level of severity because if we don't, it's going to be concerning. JB knows it. This is the second half of the season. If we really trying to win a championship, if we really believe we can get this done this year, we need to play like we are that type of team.
Let me say something. Evan Mobley's having a better offensive year, bro. But I'm telling you, go back to the game we played against him, the first game we played against him earlier this season. It wasn't impressive. He wasn't impressive.
He was more assertive, I'll say.
And right? He was missing shots. He was still missing. I'm obviously he's improved since then. He's shooting above 35% from 3. He's a lot better. He's a lot more assertive. You've seen games he's putting up 25, 30. I give him credit. He's a lot better improved offensive player. I'm just not moved yet.
You're not buying it.
I'm not buying it yet. I think he's look defensively though, because he should have been. He was third run up or whatever defensive player of the year. I think he might pull a JJJ one of these years, but just for what even without Mitch. That Cavaliers game we should have had. JB was trying to play hero JB. We should have had that game, bro.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Because we had a 14-point lead.
We had even the OKC game, bro. We played OKC incredible for like 2.5 quarters.
Really,
third quarter they made that bum ass run, and then we were able to offset the double teams that set on Brunson for 2.5 quarters. That fourth quarter came, we forgot how to do it. Yo, it's like we were lost all our composure for what we built up the first 2.5 quarters, bro. The Knicks have it. People want to ask, are we an elite team? Let me ask you before you head out of here. Are the Knicks an elite team?
I'm good. I got time.
Are the Knicks an elite team?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm never gonna believe we not.
Okay, where would you put us? We got OKC, got the Celtics, you got the Cavaliers. Ugh, I don't want to consider them that. You got the Grizzlies, got the Nuggets, you got Rockets. I'll give you that for like the top 6 teams in the league. Where do you put us?
Number 1.
Oh man, this guy is wild. Talk.
Yo, hey, bro, I'm a believer that we can do something magical this season. I'm a believer.
Oh man,
I can't say how we gonna get to the promised land, but I feel like we can do it. And like I said, bro, something in me leads me to believe that we not gonna really see the best basketball this team plays until it's playoff time, and they know, like, bro, like think about it. They have a chance to go down in Knicks history with winning this team and like, yo, you have a chance to be a part of that team.
I know.
This is something magical, and I think they understand that as players. And I think come playoff time, bro, the energy of the Garden, bro, it's gonna be crazy. And I think these guys are gonna play their best basketball and lead us to a championship. I gotta believe it. Until they show me that ain't gonna be the case. And honestly, the reason why I put us as number 1 is not just because I'm being biased. I really believe that Mitchell Robinson's return puts us over the top of these teams because of his rim protection and his rebounding. I think that's going to go a long way with getting us second chance points. You have the best 3-point corner shooter in the league in Mikal Bridges. OG Anunoby was the best last year. So you got more second chance points. You get Mitchell Robinson out there. You got 2 7-footers. Then you got JB going to work. Pick and roll. He could run a pick and roll with Cat and instead get Mitch the ball with an alley-oop. I could see a couple plays like that. Like, I'm just imagining what could be. And like I said, teams are going – I look at how teams have beat us this season. The main ways they have beat us is either they outshoot us because we suck defending the 3. We're the worst team in the league at defending the 3. Which, again, you add Mitchell Robinson in there, that should jump up and improve because your point of attack defenders can be more assertive with defending 3s because Cat in the drop coverage is not, he's not best suited for what we're doing defensively. To me, you put Mitchell Robinson in there, and your point of attack defenders can be more assertive and more aggressive with defending the 3. I should see an improvement from Mikal and OG with doing that, knowing that Mitch is behind them. They can be more comfortable. Even with our bench, they can do the same too. Miles and Cam can really be aggressive defending, which they already are as is. So you put Mitch in there, that's going to give us a lot of momentum for our bench too, whether you start them or you bring them off the bench. But, yeah, bro, I think Mitch is that much of a difference maker against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think he's that much of a difference maker against the Celtics because if you deploy him with Towns, against KP. These guys don't have enough size with Mitch out there.
The only thing is that I agree with you 1,000% on the Cavaliers. Like we were able to again. He wasn't impressed with me. Through that Tomoe, we didn't have Mitch. We had Cat. Cat was even the effort guy as you probably expect on defense. Effort guy. I'm not saying he's a great defense, just effort guy against the Cavaliers. And then Donovan Mitchell. This dude is praying to God to have a hero game against the Knicks. Like all he does is go out, and I love Donovan Mitchell's game, but a lot of times I just see him go out there and just chuck. And it gotta be Darius Garland or somebody else to kind of be like, all right, let me get a responsible 25 because this dude Donovan Mitchell is trying his best to keep trying to tell the Knicks, I love you. Why don't you draft me? Why don't you sign me? This dude's trying to always have a career game in Madison Square Garden, which has helped the Knicks. I could point out games where he's helped us, which Jack was shooting. So Mitchell Robinson being there, bro, I think will work wonders. Like, he's going to protect the paint. Darius Garland has gone to the paint I don't know how many times against us these past few damn seasons. Mitchell Robinson is just a different element. And I know it was a while ago, but what Mitchell Robinson did against the Cavaliers, it's not as if it was outside of his game. Like, oh my gosh, I've never seen it. It's like, oh, damn. Mitchell Robinson's normal, customary game made the Cavaliers look like bums. So if he does that again, the only issue is just the Celtics, because they have the shooters and punishers. Now, the Cavaliers bringing on DeAndre Hunter, that scares me a little bit more. Because Karis LeVert, he was probably inconsistent with the Cavaliers against the Knicks. He's had some good games, had some clunkers. But DeAndre Hunter, remember, they tried to put Karis LeVert when your man Brunson just mollywopped Isaac Okoro, had Okoro on, son, he abused Okoro. They put Karis LeVert on Brunson, which didn't really slow him down, but he was a better defender than your man Isaac Okoro. Now, DeAndre Hunter, though, when healthy, is a different element. That's what I'm a little bit scared of with the Cavaliers. But the Celtics, bro, I'm just like, bro, we've been losing games by 30. There's a difference. And the only time I've seen where a team got mollywopped all throughout the season, the playoffs they turned on, was my Jets, 2010, 2011. We beat the Patriots. We got mollywopped twice that season. 145-3, which was one of the worst losses I've seen in my life. And the playoffs, we beat them. So I'm hoping we can pull something off against Celtics. I just got to see at least one game in the regular season that says that's how you beat the Celtics. I'm not talking about the Celtics are already in the second spot and there's no change and the Knicks can't really contest them, whatever. I don't think it's going to get that far away. So I think the last game should be important. But I got to see a game where I'm convinced that it's like, all right, we played the Celtics this way. JB played a smart game. Cat played a smart game. Even if they don't have a 40, 30, whatever point night, I got to see smart basketball and other guys step up. And it's like, all right, that's the blueprint right there. So that's my thing with Mitch. I'm hoping he can come back and be an impact player. I'm just scared on the Celtics. But, yeah, man, we got to see him play, bro. We got to see him play, man. Let me see.
I mean, how you feel about that DeAndre Hunter acquisition?
Bro, I don't like DeAndre Hunter being there, son.
Yeah, I don't either. It pissed me off.
Like, that's the one player that when he's healthy, son, I hate you. I'm going to use the word cook, but it's like, bro, he be wild efficient offensively. He be bullying us to the basket. He has mid-range shots. And then his defense, bro, he's an annoying defender, and I know they're going to put him on Brunson, bro. I know they're not going to put him on Kyle. They'll put him on Brunson. They're going to hide Garland. But here's the thing, too, man. We got to find a way to feed. Okay, because I seen this last game versus the Hawks, too. Mikal will have Trae Young on him. If Mikal has Darius Garland on him, get the ball to freaking Mikal Bridges to put foul trouble on Garland or get easy buckets.
You gotta do that with Hunter. You gonna have to do that with Hunter.
How you doing with Hunter? Can't do that with no damn Hunter.
Bro, he's not a good defender.
Are you out of your mind?
Look at his defensive numbers, bro. They've been posting that shit on Twitter. Cavs fans that's been their biggest knock on him.
What has he been doing against the what has he been doing against the Knicks though? Look at his matchups against the Knicks.
Bro, when Mitchell Robinson plays against Atlanta, we're 3-0. In our last matchups with Mitchell Robinson versus Atlanta, we're 3-0. when he doesn't play, that's when we lose. But when you put Mitchell Robinson out there and OG Anunoby is defending DeAndre Hunter, I'm not really too concerned. But who's DeAndre Hunter defending in our lineup? You put him on JB gonna work him up and get him into foul trouble. You put him on McCall can get him into foul trouble. To me, he's gonna be one of their biggest liabilities defensively. He is not a good defender.
We'll see, man. I'm telling you, bro. He's been an issue for us, bro. I don't know how other teams play him. Certain teams play the Knicks really well, bro. And I'm looking at what he's done against the Knicks these past few years. When he's healthy defensively, it's always been an issue.
His defensive rating is 117.
That's cool. I don't know what he does with other teams. I don't know. Sorry, no, that's not true. I don't know why he's not this good defensively with other teams. With the Knicks,
it's offense that kills us. That's why
There's offense, but he's been against us. Go back to last games he played against DeAndre Hunter. Where his primary matchup is, we don't have great we don't have great games offensively against DeAndre Hunter in those games, bro. For what teams play up for the Knicks, I don't know what it is,
bro. Yeah, you tripping, bro. His defensive rating against us.
Against us. Go check it out. What is it against us?
Us is 120.
No way.
It's 120.
No way. Let me look up his.
It's 120 in his career. That's why I say you tripping.
Okay, his career. All right.
Yeah, and that's
what are the last 2 seasons, if you can? Let me see. DeAndre Hunter. I'm gonna look up his matchup stats against the Knicks directly. So
this is against the Knicks directly. It's 121.
But no, I mean his individual
It's even worse. Look. DeAndre Hunter has a defensive rating of 121.2 versus the Knicks since 2023-2024, which is 5 games played. He has 121. Now, again, points per game, he's averaging 20.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's the only thing I was worried about with him. He's shooting 54% from the field and 51% from 3. So that's, to me, offensively, yeah, but we can put him. We can put him in situations to get him in a foul trouble and get him off the court. Because who's defending him in a lineup now?
So against Brunson, 2 games played this season has only had 2 shots against him, 50%, 1 for 2, hit a 3. Let me see some other Knicks players. Let me see Macau as he played him. Macau, 1 for 2 in 2 games played. Who else would be it? OG would probably be a matchup. Oh, what was 1 for 2 as well too. Who else is he? Let me see who's he played. Who's he matched up? All right, let me go last year, 2003-24. Brunson actually shot well against him, 54.5. We didn't have Macau. Who do we have? Dante didn't take any shots against him. I'm trying to think everybody on the Knicks. Josh Hart probably wouldn't have a lot. Shot 33% against him last year. Randall? Would he have played Randall? Randall's 4-5. All right, I take that back. So I guess the Knicks have had some good good offensive numbers. Oh, wait, no, hold up. My bad. That was Randall this year. My bad. Randall last year shot 80% against him. So, yeah, I guess the Knicks have been playing well against him offensively. But defensively, he's been cooking it. Sorry. Offensively, he's been cooking us. The Johnny Bryant effect, career against Capella. Mitch is 13-3. DeAndre's been a problem in connection with the wings that have Jalen and Okongwu. Yeah, there was one game with Jalen and DeAndre cooked us. Chamberlain was worse 17 season heroes of the record. So, now we'll see. But thank you for pointing that out, Darcy, because I felt like defensively he was also cooking us. But I guess
Nah. But
maybe the playoffs. Maybe it was the playoffs I was thinking of. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. But one thing is, I look at it like this: if you look at their starting lineup, who defends JB? Because whoever it is he's gonna rack up fouls on him. And it's either gonna be. You're not going to put Donovan Mitchell on JB because you don't want Donovan Mitchell in foul trouble. You're not going to put Garland on JB because you don't want Garland in foul trouble. You're going to put DeAndre Hunter on JB, and JB going to work him. This dude does not defend well. And that's the main thing that I feel like people are not. Well, some people have talked about it, but even one of my friends that's a Cavs fan, that they said they weren't a fan of the trade because of that reason. They're like, yo, if you look at his defense versus versus the Celtics, the Celtics cook him defensively. Like they had a whole highlight reel of that. So to me, if you look at how the Celtics, like he looks lackadaisical, he kind of looks like Randall on defense. Like what we see from, I'm gonna see if I can find it because it was on Twitter. Yeah, but I'm not. That's the main reason why I'm not really like too concerned about it.
So I guess I mean, OG McCall back because they probably gonna put McCall on Donovan. OG would probably play on DeAndre, which a healthy OG should be able to frustrate DeAndre. Just because we haven't had a. Let me see if I can find OG's numbers versus DeAndre. Regular season, blah 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 blah. OG shooting 50% against him. Flip side, OG 1-for-1. That DeAndre has OG. So I haven't played a lot of minutes. Only 4.75, 4:45 minutes played against each other. So it'll be interesting to see once those guys match up because you don't have no Jalen Johnson. OG would be matched up on him. Would OG? Well, I guess would OG be on Mobley? That'd be interesting to see. Will OG be on Mobley or would? Because if Mitch is playing, I guess you have Mitch on Allen, Cat on Mobley, and then you can have OG on DeAndre. But if Mitch is not playing, then you have to shift OG up to Mobley and then have someone else play on DeAndre. But you want McCall on Donovan just because he's a better point of attack defender. It said Bridget X Factor. iHeart sucked against Philly. We won down 20 points before Mitch got in the game first quarter. First game. Don't say that, Nick Yak, because you know Darcy's going to go off.
Like, I'm looking at a highlight here of him versus us. The biggest thing that I noticed is we put small defenders on him. We had Miles McBride and campaign defender do when he came off the bench.
But then he was hitting a whole bunch of mid-range shots against us though. Those games,
he was driving in, bro. Like, nah, I'm looking at this highlight. He was taking it in. You know, so it's like you can't do that. Now, granted, he's starting now, so good. OG and McCall can defend him, and so you got a bigger defender on him. But yeah, that wasn't a good strategy from Thibs.
Right. And he's tried that too. Like he tries to have these small defenders on some just the matchups. Like when he had Shamet on LeBron, I was like, dogs, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? So like LeBron was cooking Landry Shamet, and then it was too late before we kind of like stopped doing that. And obviously OG was out, but it's just like you can't. Sometimes you have to sacrifice and go with the slower size and play for the shot, which you know LeBron's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna hit a bunch of shots.
Do you think we keep DeLon?
You said what?
Do you think we keep DeLon?
I don't know. I think if we have a better, if you could sign somebody from the buyout market, bro, he might be out. Like Delon Wright, man, he cool, but he 36. And you know, Tibbs don't really be utilizing like deep depth like that, unless you're gonna bring somebody in. But like, come on, son. Like, I think that he likes Shamet's hustle and defense, even though the shot's not really falling like he would like it. But I don't really see Delon Wright hitting unless guys get hurt. Obviously, that's the only time I really see Tibbs making those type of changes. But nah, I don't see Delon Wright getting a lot of time, especially if they sign somebody in the buyout market, which I'm still hoping. I think that's gonna happen, but remains to be seen. But yo, Darcy, man, I'm about to be out, bro. I appreciate you, my brother, man, for being on, man. Great conversations as usual, man. Got to find a way to get some of your nemesis on here, man. Isaiah had to work today, so he couldn't come on here and talk trash, man. But Darcy, man, I appreciate you, man, as always, man. But guys, I'm about to be out, man. I appreciate you locking in on this weekly. Please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys later. Oh, let me take that. I got this damn thing just showing. Darcy is blunted right now. You can tell, son. He had to dip. You about to sleep. But you hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the dark notification bell to get each and every notification for each and every video. It's your boy G Leisure Knicks. I appreciate you, man. Please also hit the Discord and follow me on Twitter as well, too, man. I need a Twitter following, bro. Y'all don't love me on Twitter. I know Twitter is successful, but please follow me on Twitter, man. But on that note, man, peace through. God bless. I will talk to you guys on Thursday. We out. Peace, 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 peace.